on, comic compadres, and welcome back to the Monday Night Jive and the Rat Pack, man. How y'all doing tonight, man? How you doing, Ja?
I'm doing great. I'm doing great.
You're doing great, bro. You're back from the dead. You're back from the dead, bro. From that. Ja I'm gonna get y'all laughing, bro. He's back from the dead, bro. We'll talk about that later, man. Yo, who that, man? What's up, who that? How's New Orleans hanging right now, bro?
I thought that comment was gonna be for me because I'm back from the dead. But no, I'll tell you right now, this was the hottest day we've had out here in the last 2 months because it's rained every day in the last 2 months, and everybody's been talking about they haven't gotten any rain, and I'm like, hey, y'all can take some of the rain. I mean, I can't cut my grass twice a week. That's ridiculous.
Yeah, man. And how you doing, Dan?
I'm still groggy. I took a little nap before the show, and maybe I shouldn't have done that because now I'm just sort of resetting my mind, like resetting your computer.
Oh, man. Welcome, man. And we got Efren's in the house, man. What's up, F? Efren! And then James, man. James in the house, man.
The
James
doctor's in the house.
The doc's always asking me, you guys, man, I need something to watch on Monday night. And I was like, bro, last Monday I was like, bro, I need to go to sleep. You know what I'm saying? So I went to sleep on that Monday. But hey, guys, we got a very, very special guest, man. And I've met this guy. I met this guy a few times on different shows, and we always talked about jumping on, a stream together, man. I finally got him, man. I finally got some time for him, and that's my man, Matt Woods. What's going on, Matt?
Hey, how you doing there, Hoodrat? I'm glad to be on here. Thanks for inviting me.
I'm gonna put you on the big screen, man. Here you go. Hey.
So a whole lot of ugly you got up there.
I know, man. So I got this new segment, man, and just to introduce you to the audience, man, I didn't tell the guys. I forgot to tell you guys in the back room, but I had this new thing called the hot seat, man, and we all get to ask Matt one question. Maybe we can ask him two questions. Go around two times, and it's be any question that you want to ask him. It could be like, what's your favorite hamburger or whatever, man. But I got an intro for this as well. Matt, man, my first question for you, man, is what was your favorite what was your first comic book that you ever bought?
Ooh, that's a good question. I always had comic books around the house when I was a little kid, but they were like Bugs Bunny and Richie Rich. I don't really remember them. They kind of got thrown away by grandparents. But the first book I ever bought was Conan the Barbarian 163. Had this really dope Ernie Chan cover on it that was, I wish I could grab it, but it just kind of captivated me. And the movie came out a year or so earlier, so I wanted to buy a Conan book, and I'm kind of glad I did.
Awesome, man. We got Godly Comics in the house, man. That's the homie, bro. What's up, Lex? How about you?
Great dude right there.
You go next, Ja.
Oh, okay. What's your favorite comic book series, past and currently?
If you're talking like a mini/maxi series, and people are going to make fun of me for this, but I absolutely love the original Secret Wars back in 1984. You had all the characters coming together, all the villains, and it was just an epic story. And that was kind of the first time I saw Dr. Doom really being fleshed out to being a complete, megalomaniac. Mm-hmm. And so just a real quick read. That's probably my favorite series. Now, my favorite book, ongoing series, is Savage Sword of Conan, which I do like other things other than Conan, but I brought it up twice already in two questions. So maybe I'll do it again here in a little bit. But that series, that was a magazine series. And Marvel was trying to get around the comics code. So they came out the magazines in the 70s, and they were grittier. Sometimes there was nudity, but it was a really dope story. And it really delved into the violence. And I don't mean horrible violence, but it just made for a better story, and it wasn't kiddified. So that is my favorite, all-time series.
Awesome,
very good. I remember those. Yeah.
You guys are putting me on the hot seat here. I'm starting to sweat. I think I have a fan back here. I got to turn that thing on.
And we got Ty Locks and Mighty in the house, man. What's up, bro? How you doing, man? All right, Dan, you're up.
Hey, Tyler.
All right, Matt, think very carefully about this. I'm a huge Star Trek fan. So much so that I did a segment on it a few episodes ago. Now, I notice you have a Darth Vader and a Stormtrooper behind you. Now, think very carefully about this answer. Star Trek or Star Wars?
Star Trek. Without a doubt. Now,
He survives.
Star Wars.
Good. We don't have to kick you off then.
No, go ahead, Dan. Why are you surprised? I'm curious.
I like them both. I like them both.
Absolutely. Star Wars is a great fantasy, drama, opera, whatever the hell you want to call it. Okay, forgive me. But Star Trek there's more thinking to it. And now, I want to say there's more science to it. And the science is hokey. It's not real. It's all made up. But you at least have that sense that it's a possible world in Star Trek. So I kind of dig that. Now, Star Trek, forgive me. Star Wars, they just kind of make stuff up on the fly, explosions in deep space, whatever. And it's an awesome story, but if you put 2 seconds thought to it, none of it makes sense. And the lightsaber, why doesn't the lightsaber go off for infinity? I can't figure that one out.
The Force, bro.
The Force. Yes, exactly.
There's a scientist that just talks about the lightsaber, that it is possible, but I'm not going to go too nerd out on it. It's Neil deGrasse Tyson. If anybody wants to look at it, he explains.
I love that guy. I'm going to have to watch it.
Yeah.
If you ever question anything about Star Wars, the answer is always, bro, it's the Force. It's just the
You can't argue with it.
All right, Russ, your turn, bro.
One artist or writer that's not living that you haven't met, who would you like to meet if you could?
Okay, wait. Did you ask?
If I said that correctly, who you got Jack Kirby, or Stan Lee if you never met Stan Lee, stuff like if you any one of those legends that are, maybe it might not be a legend, it could be somebody else that that just somebody you never met before.
Well, I'm going to give you 2 answers here because I do have 2. I never met Stan Lee, okay? And I told the wife for years and years, I'm like, I need to go to a comic convention, which I've only ever been to one comic book convention, and that was last fall, okay? So I haven't been to a whole lot. I'm like, I need to go meet Stan Lee because he is kind of a famous guy. He wrote a lot of books. And I kind of regret that I never just went to a show to see him. But another guy is Frank Frazetta, okay? Famous painter, famous outside of comic books. But he was from Eastern Pennsylvania, honestly, a 2-3 hour drive from my house. And, just an amazing human being. There's a museum in his old house. He basically had an almost castle, if you will. Like, this house is all stone and, it's got, I don't know what you call the round things, okay, that go up there like turrets or something, but it's just pretty cool place to go visit. And then you can buy a lot of his art. So there's 2, one that is past. Well, forgive me, both of them are past that I kind of wish I had met. Good questions.
Yeah.
Hey, man, hold on. We got some comments in here in the chat. So King's in the house, man. He says Star Wars don't make sense. The fuck, bro? It's the Force, bro. That's how you gotta say, man. It's all around us.
It's a great story.
Hey, what up, man? That's Cameron in the house, bro. He's up in Michigan, man. He just moved there from Cali. What's up, Cam? How you doing, bro? James got a question for you, Matt. He says, if you're a true Star Trek fan, here's a great question. What was the name of Captain James Tiberius Kirk's son's name?
He got me on this one. Did he have a son? I don't even know if that's a thing. No, I have no idea. So, Dr. Comics, let me know because I'm curious.
Wasn't it? He was in Star Trek. Wasn't the one when Spock died? That was the one, right? When Dan would know. Dan.
He was in the Wrath of Khan.
The Wrath of Khan, right? The Wrath of Khan.
Wrath of Khan, okay.
Is it David?
David, played by Merrick Butrick, if I remember correctly.
Oh, Hype said it's Tyrone. What's up, Tyrone? I think did he survive? Did he survive the hot seat, guy? Did he survive the hot seat?
Yeah,
he did great. He did great.
Appreciate it.
I'll say
All right.
yes, man.
I got one that
It's a tough question.
real quick. DC or Marvel? There you go.
Oh, there you
Yeah.
go.
What time period are we talking about? We talking golden, silver, bronze?
That's a good response. That's a very good response.
He flipped it.
That's a politician response.
Versus DC. I'm taking
Well, I got
DC
one.
every time.
All right. Current movies, DC or Marvel? How about that? Make it easy.
Oh, pre-pandemic, I'm taking Marvel hands down. But this Phase 4 stuff, I'm sorry. Like, there have been a handful
Yeah.
of decent movies, but I'm not a big fan of it.
Yeah.
Yeah, me
Bring
either,
back
bro.
Thanos. Okay, we need a baddie, somebody to kill. So.
I know.
Or at least
man.
show the next baddie. Kang. Where's Kang hiding?
Yeah.
Well, congratulations, man. You survived it, bro. Welcome.
Whew.
All right, guys, you ready? You ready to rock? You ready with the picks? Because we got John, man. John got his honorable mention. What's up?
All right. What's up, man? So let me tell you, these beats are really cool. Ian, you guys got some nice beats. Okay, so this is Pussycat #1, The Adventures of Pussycat #1. I've only seen this in real time, like real life, in my lifetime one time until recently, and it popped up on IG somewhere. And then I started doing some looking into some research into this. This is a 1968 comic. It's a one-shot. It's not even a comic form. It's a magazine. It's a reprint of I have to write this one down. Goodman Magazine Management magazines that came out in 1960s, and it was published by Marvel. Believe it or not, Marvel published this in 1968. A little risque magazine / comic book, written by Stan Lee, Larry Lieber, and a couple of other people, and then Wally Wood art in there as well, along with a couple of other folks. It's something that you really don't see too much of. I think there's less than 50 probably on the census, and it's I don't know about you guys. Again, I've only seen it once in my lifetime, and I've been collecting for like 40 plus years.
Man, I want to take a look. Let's take a look
I've
at
seen
this.
it once on IG.
Yep.
Wow. I like the cover, bro. When I seen it, man, I was like, hey, man, that's a nice
I've
cover,
never
bro.
seen that book.
That is one sexy cover.
Yeah, it's a sexy cover, bro.
Yeah, that's just perfect in all the right places. But it's not over the top though. It's just kind of like come and get me kind of thing. But it's beautifully done. When did this come out? What year is that?
1968, so it's 54 years old. There's no nudity in there or anything like that. It's just risque subject matter.
Yeah.
And then just the fact that Marvel published this as a one-shot really is interesting that, they actually went out there and did something like this. It's cool. I think it's really cool.
I like the holster, bro. The holster and the belt.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm done if I see a lady with a dress and a belt. It's like, I don't know why, bro. But with the holster and the bang bang, bro, let's go. And it's a beautiful red cover too, because back in these days, this red, man, it just pops, right? It just pops.
Hey, call me shallow. I just noticed you had a gun.
Yeah, I see that. Bang bang, man. We got Kamikaze in the house. What's up, Ozzy?
So it's an innuendo cover, just like they had in the 1950s, and those seem to be very popular as well.
Yeah, man. So it fine goes for about $342. You might as well just buy an 8.0 for $372. I mean, this is what's coming up on cover price, man. That's the price for this one, man. But be a dope book to look for at like a con, maybe a mid-sized con, that actually has a lot of comic book sellers, man. Saying booths and stuff, But
I mean, how many cons have we been to? I don't think I've seen.
I don't see them.
Yeah.
I haven't seen this, man. I haven't seen this. We've been how many cons since COVID?
Yeah.
Maybe like 5 or 6. Yeah, I haven't seen this yet, man.
That's got to be hard to. That's got to be really hard to get high grade.
Such a cool cover, man.
What's out on the bottom, bro? I'm just reading it. It says the lady is a swinger.
Yeah.
Hey, the lady's a swinger. I was like, hey, that's pretty risque for Marvel.
Yeah,
Because,
exactly.
Yeah, that's it. That could mean a lot. You know what I'm saying? So, do we know who did the cover, bro? Do you know?
I'll take a look. I think I'm not sure. I'm not sure who did the cover. Let me take a look here.
Yeah, me either. Man, I should look that up, bro. But yeah, I like it, man. Because I would like to know like the innuendo, bro. Like ladies are swinging. Like who's thinking that up? You know what I'm saying? So I like it, man. I like it.
They probably did it as a magazine just to get around a comic code for all the risque and innuendo that's on it.
Yeah, man.
So the
I
cover,
want this book.
That is dope.
the cover's done by Bill Everett.
Bill Everett.
Yeah.
Dan, you heard of Bill Everett? Dan would know.
I have heard of Bill Everett. Yeah, he did. Didn't he do the artist for Submariner?
Oh.
Mhm.
Oh.
Yeah, he's
I would not have labeled Bill Everett as the artist for this. This is a different direction for him.
Yeah, so Bill Everett, actually best known for creating Submariner. Look at you, Dan. I swear you're like a professor, man. You know,
Librarian, bro.
Yeah.
Like, damn.
As well as co-creating Zombie and Daredevil with Stan Lee and Marvel Comics. So
Wow.
interesting.
Wow.
Yeah.
Hey, he gave Namor the swag, bro. So there you go, right? Like he likes to swing. You know what I'm saying? But great pick, man. Let's get into our trending, not trending. Oh man, I picked this one, man. This is my pick right here. This is Secret Wars #2, issue #3, man. This is the first full appearance of the first appearance and cover, the first human appearance. To say that first full human appearance and cover of the human form, the Beyonder. Why am I picking this, man? Because let's make it easy, man. We've seen Secret Wars, right? We've seen Secret Wars coming up, and I mean, who started this? Who brought all the people to the battle world, right? Like the Beyonder, right? And who does Doom get all the power from, man? The Beyonder, man. Like I don't know if it's if this Beyonder is gonna show up. I heard there's a Beyonder showing up in the Moon Girl Daredevil cartoon series, and it's the dude that played Morpheus. What's his name? He played Morpheus in the Keanu in what is it? The Matrix. Lawrence Fishburne, yeah. I heard Lawrence Fishburne is going to be the voice, right? The voice in that cartoon. So, I mean, it's a voice, right? It's a voice. It's going to be a voice on a cartoon. Are we going to get the curly-haired, suave Beyonder that we have in Secret Wars 2? Or are we going to get like this being that doesn't have a body, right? That was in Secret Wars. Like, what do you guys think, man? I mean, I like this book. I mean, I like it because he's actually on the cover, and we actually have a form of him. I don't know how great it's going to be if we just have like this big like energy force, this energy force going on that we saw in Secret Wars. But I like this book for Beyonder. I mean, you could get Secret Wars 1, which is his Secret Wars #1, which is his appearance as like a being, right? But I like this one because we actually get his human form. We have him on the cover as well. What's your guys' thoughts, man?
Great pick.
Yeah, I think it's a good pick because I think how Marvel goes, they if they use them, they would use them a human form versions, like they did with Ego that wasn't playing. So I think that's also like people are gonna go after that one more so than the other one.
Yeah, and it's a pretty cheap buy still. I mean, it's like a $12 to $15 book, man. At a 9.8, it's about $154. So, I mean, with me, man, and I want to bet on the Beyonder, man, I'd pay the $154 to get this 9.8, man. So
I think you could at least double your money at that.
Yeah, I mean, you could probably get it cheaper than $154 too.
Yeah.
So, Ian, we're going to talk about this in my segment. What bothers me about this when it was discovered or it was identified that this is the first full appearance of this particular character, why does it have to be him in human form? I mean, if the Beyonder at the time was the most powerful being in all of Marvel Comics, he's a being of unlimited energy, whatever he is. I don't think he has to have a physical form. Why would his first appearance not be in the first Secret Wars 1, the 1982 that came out?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, his I think it is his first appearance as a being, as a powerful, eternal being or whatever he is. But this is him coming as like a, as a form of a human, in this one. I like it. I like the cover on this one. And Secret Wars #1. I mean, that one's taken off, man. Since they announced it, like that book is kind of skyrocketed. So we all, if you didn't buy that one, and then you didn't buy it at a 9.0 or whatever, a higher grade, you kind of missed it, man. And this book is still something that we can catch, So I like it. I like it as a catch, man. And King says that Fishburne was also the voice of the Silver Surfer in Fantastic Four: Rise of the Silver Surfer. Did you guys remember this one from back in the day?
I did.
I actually liked it. I like this movie. This is, out of all the Fantastic Fours, this is a movie I actually remember, man. You know what I'm saying?
Only thing I didn't like was Reed Richards dancing. That was for some reason that was Fox. Those years when that movie came out, and I think was it Black Suit Spider-Man, whatever. Those were Fox had all the characters dancing and not very good.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah. I didn't care for the Reed Richards character. He wasn't as serious and stoic as he was in the comics. And I think the biggest disappointment was at the end of the movie when Galactus is supposed to show up. Yeah. They could have at least, when they showed the sky and the cloud, they could have at least showed a silhouette of the Galactus helmet. That would have made a huge impact. Not just some obscure cloud that we're looking at. I mean, the whole movie made no sense.
Yeah, and that's what I say about the Beyonder. Like, if we really want to see his presence, we got to have him in some type of form, that we can relate to. Like
something to see.
Something to see, man.
Something tangible, yeah.
Something tangible, man. And James says the Beyonders are the aliens from an outside dimension that will end the current MCU like they did in the Jonathan Hickman run. Yeah. I mean, he was actually, weren't they, the Beyonder was actually in the Jonathan Hickman run as well, man. So that's what I'm saying. I was like, man, we're not thinking about the Beyonder yet. I mean, we should be thinking about him a little bit more. But that's my pick, and let's see what the 9.8s are. So I kind of put this up right here. So you could, 9.8s back a year ago was about $355, $340, $560. Now they're $139, $140, $150, $160. You get one at $140. Someone got one at $108 on June 22nd. So total affordable buy right now for this one. So if y'all are into it, man, check it out, man. So, but next up is I like this one, bro. This is a dope pick. Go ahead, Ja.
All right, so my theme today is magazines. That's going to be all three of my picks are going to be magazines, and so this is another one. It's Foom #4, and since Doctor Doom is red hot these days, and any cover that's out there is red hot, I think this is probably one of his best covers. And I'm gonna be full disclosure, I have this one, so I'm not just promoting it just because I have it. This is like a great cover of Doctor Doom. And I've seen like other ones in Fantastic Four where Doctor Doom's on there. I've seen other recent covers, more modern covers. But this one, again, it's from 1973, Foom magazine. It's a white cover, so it's hard to find in a clean version or higher grade. And I just think this is, if you're a Doctor Doom fan, you have to have this in your collection.
This is a Kirby cover too, right? This is Kirby.
Yes.
This is straight up Kirby, man. Like, hell yeah,
Old school OG,
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
I love it, man. What do you think, Matt? What do you think about this? You old school collector, bro.
Man, you could just see the Kirby in it. I love how Kirby, puts the hand right out there and he does the great angles for it. So, and the Foom books were actually really good and fun to read. Now, when you say I'm an old school collector, I wasn't alive whenever Foom #4 came out. But, I've since gone back and read them all online. And, there's just so many little tidbits into it. And it just added something more than just straight comic books. So, people could get looks behind the scenes of what the publishers were doing. So this is such an awesome cover. I'll be honest with you. I know I've read Foom 4 because I've read the series. I don't know if I've ever taken notice to this cover. This is amazing.
It's an amazing Kirby, man. What do you think, Dan?
If there was ever an icon to describe the wonder of the Silver Age, it's this comic right here. I mean, that's Jack Kirby and Doom, and look how everything is absolutely perfect with the gun to the side and so forth. You can't top the classics, and this is a classic cover here.
Who dat? I know you got an opinion, bro. Go ahead, bro.
It's one of those covers that I think they've used like that image in a lot of different things.
Mm-hmm.
So it's been around, like seen a lot more than people realize, and it's like you said, it's hard to keep that cover clean with that white, because I've seen it a couple times and it's always dirty, which is easy to be clean. But Dr. Doom is just such a classic, and I think hopefully they don't use him and kill him off. That's what I'm hoping they don't do. And he can just be like that person that he's always there. But if you want to read a good Dr. Doom story that's hilarious, it's Luke Cage versus Dr. Doom in a Luke Cage Sheriff O'Hara run. That's I'm just saying that's the funniest and the best story I've read with Dr. Doom. Because all I'm gonna say, it starts off by Luke Cage going after Dr. Doom for $200.
There are some crazy Dr. Doom stories I've read, man, back in the day, bro.
Dr. Doom, I love it, though.
Yeah, man. You know, it's always Dr. Doom trying to do the right thing, but he's killing people. I'm like, bro, bro, you don't kill people to do the right thing, bro. You know, like, come on, man. So, hey, man, we got, so Gotti said, James, bro, like, come on. James is always welcome, man. We got Desired in the house, man. Desired's in the house. What's up,
brother.
Nigel? What's up, bro?
Hey, Nigel.
Yeah. Great pick, man, and I'm still on the look for this one, man. I'm totally still on the look for this one. These Foom books, man, they were at a small con that I was at maybe a year ago, bro, and you know, when you have a booth, you're not looking, bro, and then one of my friends came by and brought all these Foom books he had bought for like $100. I was like, damn, you came up, man. Yeah, so good on him, man. I love these Foom covers. But up next, man, what's up? Oh, there we go, bro. This is the expert on Riri, bro. Go ahead, who that?
No, not no expert, but this is the first full appearance of Riri Williams, and for the longest time, this book and the number 7 were like people were trying to argue back and forth, but this one actually says it on the cover, introducing, and I forgot what it says, introducing such and such. She didn't have a name yet. Mm-hmm. So the reason why I picked this one is because I think it's a good investment, because I think they're really going to take the time with Riri. In Black Panther, like, she's gonna have the Mach 1, and I think in her series there you already saw a picture of Mach 2, and then they're talking about her designs are gonna be like technology mixed with magic, so they're gonna mix it up a little bit, which I like the idea of that. I'm really curious to see how she's. I love the actress they picked, so I think it's a good pick for long term, because how the MCU is going with younger and fresher characters, and she signed the young lady who's playing her signed like 20+ picture deal. So yeah, we're gonna be seeing a lot of her, and long as, like I said, a lot of people just got to give stuff a chance, and I think they're gonna be. I think she's played right well in Black Panther 2 with Ryan Coogler, so I think we're gonna get a great story through that headway, and it's gonna lead straight into her a series in Ironheart. So, and then they're using a lot of characters to get people involved, like the Hood stuff that I talked about before
on the show.
Yeah. So I just love this book, and it's a lot of people don't like representation, but I love representation if it's written well.
Yeah, man. And, she has a great director, man. She's lucky to be in that Black Panther movie, because I think this Black Panther movie is going to save Phase 4. I think this movie's going to blow people out the water, man. And I'm hoping, right, Matt? Right, Matt? We were hoping that something saves Phase 4, right? So go ahead, Matt. You like this book too, Matt?
Listen, all of these Young Avenger first appearance books, people need to give these characters a chance. They are writing them so well, and there's such a cool energy about all these characters. But I'm loving this book right here. This is a book I need to put on my pull list.
Yeah, you'll see, man. There's a big dip on this book, so it's a good time to buy.
Great
Yeah.
time to buy it.
What do you think, Ja? I know you love Riri too, man.
Yeah,
You know,
man.
like me.
I love Riri. I love this pick. I'm with Matt. Everybody has to give these new characters a chance. I think Phase 4 is like, when you're watching a series and they have those filler episodes, and you're like, why'd I just waste my time watching this? But I think at the end of the day, when we go back and look at Riri, we go and look back at Kamala Khan and the new Hawkeye and all these new characters that they have. I mean, in order for comics to progress, they have to change things up. We all know the real original Avengers, and no one, the new generation needs to get to know younger characters. That's the only way comic books are going to grow, and so we all have to give it a chance. I think it's a great pick. I think, and another thing, Black Panther, I think, is going to knock it out the park. I think Ryan Coogler is like a great director. He's probably going to I just think that's going to set it up for the next phase.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yep, man. The trailer knocked it out the park, man.
Yeah.
Dan, what do you know Riri, Dan?
See, I'm one of those people that this new character has to win over, and I don't want to knock the character. I am going to be one of those people with an open mind because I stopped collecting in the mid '90s, and so this is a very new character for me. And I'm not rooting against the character because I know very little to nothing about the character. But I've always been a fan of older, mature characters taking over. I've been very vocal about having if it was up to me, I would have had James Rhodes take over because of his age, maturity, his understanding of Stark, the armor, and so forth. But again, I'm not rooting against the character. I want to see what they're going to do, and I'm all for. If I may fall in love with the character as soon as I see it. So I'm on. It's a wait and see for me. It's a wait and see.
Yeah, I think we're all trying to search for that character to connect with, man. Because I'm not connecting with any of the young characters yet, man. So I'm hoping that Riri would be the one, man. Riri.
A lot of times I like to try to tell people about characters like Riri or Kamala Khan. We got to realize these are characters that this is stuff that we care about for comics, and that is getting written for everybody. Mm-hmm. And that's what they're kind of doing with her. And with her, she's not going to be taking over Iron Man. That's just the title of the story. Okay. She's going to be here doing her own thing. And I'm pretty sure the Armor Wars is going to clarify James Rhodes taking the Iron Man mantle.
And let me, and if I may clarify, look, I've loved Silver Age, but if I was stuck in that one era, I wouldn't see all the Bronze Age characters or the Copper Age characters and all those wonderful, characters that we grew up with. So again, I don't want to come across as negative towards this character. There has to be new storyline, new introduction of characters and so forth. So again, I hope this works out.
Mm-hmm.
Man, I hope they do her right, man. And they connect why she's named Ironheart, because that has a lot to do with her attitude too.
Yeah, and her dad.
Yeah, her dad and her best friend. So I'm hoping they do it right.
Not only that, though, man. I mean, we got Disney behind it, and if we're looking at marketing and all the companies that are out there, Disney, Nike, Apple. I mean, you're looking at some very big companies who knows how to market things, and they do their research before they even roll things out. So whether we like it or not, I'm sure there's a plan, and I'm sure they know what's gonna, what's gonna happen.
Yeah, and we're like 2 characters away from the new champions too. So we got to realize that we're literally 2 characters away from the new champions that I feel like they're building up for that. And I think they feel it. If I've been noticing stuff, it feels like they're gonna do these Avenger movies, but we're gonna have these side groups, and they all come together in Avengers. But we're gonna have like young groups of champions. I don't think they're gonna get Young Avengers. Champion sounds better. It's different, but it's not. It's the same but different. So I'm really digging it. I'm just, like you said, we all, I think it's on the same boat, saying hoping it does well, and you got to give open mind and give it a chance.
Yep.
Yeah, man. And I'll be at D23, man. If they announce champions, I'll let y'all know first. You know what I'm saying?
Hey,
so
man,
I'll be there.
I can't wait to
get that
from you.
Bro, that panel, we looked at the time. It's like 2 hours. The Marvel panel. Oh, wow. It's 2 hours, bro.
I can tell you a couple of announcements you will have, and I can't wait to get your reaction from it. They will announce Mr. Fantastic, Mrs. Fantastic, and Johnny Storm. I know that for a fact.
Oh, let's go, man. I can't wait, man. I can't wait.
What about the thing, though?
That's the one that a friend of mine told me they're keeping that one hush, but because they're still working on a contract with that, and there's no rush on the thing, people don't realize. But I think they're trying to get the other ones locked in key because the rumors are already been coming out with stuff. So we kind of know where they're going with that. So it's basically, we just want to hear the other stuff. We already know who's pretty much getting Fantastic Four. So.
Hey man, James has a question, man, in his chat, man. He says, "Who dat? How about the Invincible Iron Man #7, the winner of Power variant? The one." You know that one, right?
If I know that one, I have it, but this is the one, and you can't really see it. This is the one, the variant you need to go after.
Is that the number?
This is number 9, the number 9 variant. Invincible Iron Man #9 is I think the
blue cover. The
blue cover is the Apocalypse variant. Mm-hmm. That variant is rarer than Ultimate Fallout 4 1 in 25.
Yeah, man.
I agree. A lot of people sleep on that, and I think it has to do. I hate to say it has to do a little bit with her being a woman, but if this character kicks off and people are open minded and have great scenes or however you want to say it, this book can reach higher than Ultimate Fallout 4. Good.
Hey, I got one too. So let's go, man. You know what I'm saying? So Dr. James is champions. He's down for that. I know Golly's down with champions too, bro. He got some champions. And then God says James' champions gets announced. Game over, bro. Game over, bro. So next up, man, is our guest, Matt. Wait, we're looking at the 9.8s for this. So check out the price on these guys. Like it's a really good dip. So as of August 6th, one sold for $475. If you look back,
it was solid. It was solid
right
for
here.
a long time.
Solid
for $800.
$800.
Yeah,
right there, $800.
Yeah.
This was just like this February, January, and it was at September of last year. It was selling for almost $900. And that's just cover A. That's just cover A. There's there's the second prints. And there's the variant too.
The variant had a high sale of 7,000. It dipped a big time, and it's like around 2,900.
Who scored this? Look at this, bro. Look at this. Was that you? Who dat scoring that right there? That's who dat right there. Look at that. $260, bro. I know that was you. Who dat?
I can't say.
Wait, he's not saying no.
I can't confirm or deny it.
That was you, that, bro.
I got some of these raw sales that I have some of that though.
Yeah, look at that, man. That's someone scored big time, bro. 260. Great pick, man. I'm agree with you with Riri, man. I have an open mind. I think she's gonna look, man. God, he says he's so dead, bro. Last night we gotta talk about when me and John were dead last night, bro. I had SpongeBob like burying himself, bro. I said that. So go ahead. We have Matt, bro. What do you got, Matt? As your trending, not trending, man.
Well, you were talking about the Silver Age books and how if we would have stuck in one era, we never would have had the Bronze Age eras. We never would have had Luke Cage, Punisher, Johnny Blaze, Ghost Rider. And I'm going to get back to Riri, and I'm going to circle it all around. But what I'm hoping in 20, 30 years, hopefully we're still here, whenever people look back upon comic book eras, we'll look back upon the Young Avengers and the Miles Morales, very similar to what we look back in the 1960s, with just a flourish of creativity. But whenever Nick Cage did, and I'm getting back to Ghost Rider, but when Nick Cage did the Ghost Rider movies, they got panned. I mean, the first one I think was watchable. The second one, the montage, people couldn't stand it. But whenever they're going to be coming out with Blaze, Blaze. Forgive me. Who's the vampire killer? It's Blaze, right? Yeah.
Blade. Yeah.
Blade.
Guys, this is almost midnight East Coast. I knew I was saying it wrong, but I'm like, yes, they're coming out with Blade. They're going to be coming out with the Midnight Suns. Okay, or Sons of Midnight. So I
Midnight,
think whenever they do put a live action Ghost Rider in the MCU, I think this book is just, honestly, it's a classic. We get it. It's a grail. But I think there's so much room up for this book that this is a good book to pick up. The high grades are very expensive. The low grades are, you can reach out and pick up a low grade copy of this book.
I like to pick, man. I like to pick, but it's a big book, man. You got to spend some money on this book, and I think it's on a really good buy. It's a really good buy right now because we don't have a lot of news about, Johnny Blaze, man, and Ghost Rider, man. I think it's a great buy if this is a book you're after, especially some, would you consider this a Bronze Age, Dan? 20 cents?
No, we'll talk about this in the segment. This is Silver Age, but I'll make the argument in my segment. Go ahead. Jaw's already laughing. Okay. He's gonna be a tough sell. But listen, I have a raw copy of this. Maybe it's a 3.0 raw, but who was it? Swaggle had a whole group of people. I called them the Illuminati, and one of their segments is they had a 9.8 of this, and they were comparing it to Amazing Fantasy 15 and Action Comics #1. And there was the question came out: should that even be compared to those two deep grails? And if I was on that chat, I would have said, "Look, I remember a time when Amazing Fantasy 15 shouldn't be compared to an Action Comics #1. Action is always the top book you should always get. That and Detective 27, but there it is. And the reason why I think that Ghost Rider and Spotlight 5 was on there was not just because it was a 9.8. There's always been this love for horror. There's always this love for that genre, and Ghost Rider is one of the lead characters of that genre. I think Matt's very much onto something. I think even at the price it is now, I think it's extremely undervalued.
It's a really good buy, man. Yeah, I'm with you, Dan. It's a really good buy. John, I know it's a good. I know you think it's a good buy. This is your real horse, bro.
Great buy. Right now, it's an all black cover. I love all black covers, especially in high grade if I can find them. And then Ghost Rider. A skeleton on a motorcycle. Like, how much better could you?
Yeah, right. What could go wrong?
What could go wrong? It's a perfect character. I think to and buy it if you can. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
And I think we got the birth of horror coming too in the MCU, man. We got that Halloween special coming up on Disney Plus. And I think a lot of these books are gonna pop because we might see some stuff, man. I know who that already. He already knows. He knows some hints. Give us some hints, bro. What you been hearing, man, about the horror stuff?
Well, to talk about this is like I always tell people Kevin Feige / Marvel. They give you they literally hand you a calendar, or they pretty much give you breadcrumbs of what they're going to be doing. Correct, and everybody knows that if you really follow, just the timelines. My question is, like you said, Midnight Suns. We already got Moon Knight. Blade is currently filming. They're basically giving us breadcrumbs of they're going to do a Midnight Suns, but who are all the characters going to be? Yeah. We don't know yet about this one, but this is a classic that everybody loves. It's a different dynamic of a character that could be on that team. So I can see them adding. I think it's all about the right actor for this role, because you want an actor that can lead a movie, because they're gonna do a solo movie, or something like that. So it's gonna happen, and to quickly talk about, like you mentioned before, 8.0 is what, $3,400. This book is harder to get an 8.0 than Hulk 181. That it's $7,000 in the 8.0. Mm-hmm. So that's how I kind of can look at the comparison of those two. Like I know Wolverine is, beloved, but this is the harder book to get an 8.0. Like this should be close. Mm-hmm. I can see it not being exactly 7,000. But this should be at least 5,000 at 8.0, at least.
And if you're talking about the Midnight Suns too, man, if you talk about the modern era like Damnation, we already got Doctor Strange, so I think it's gonna be like we talked about like the other teams, like the Champions, man. It could be a mix of everything. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, and I can see Doctor Strange playing parts in all, like Midnight Sun, Avengers, and it's another team that he was Defenders. I could see him doing like being a part of all three of those in some kind of way, you know. So, but this character's coming. They made a point not to give us Phase 6. If everybody noticed that, the only thing I would put money on that might be happening in Phase 6. Like if I had to place a bet on anything that's going to be happening, it's something that he announced before that said it's still happening. Yep. It's Armored Wars. That's the only thing I could put money on that I think is going to be in Phase 6. Everything else we don't know, and I think this could be something.
And Feige said, like in like I think it was 2018, he talked about the Ghost Rider, man, and that being part of the MCU. So
and he loves Bronze Age. He's a Bronze Age guy. Yeah, he loves man. Bronze Age. Bronze Age is his bread and butter.
Then Comicbooks says this is such a classic book, one of those foundational ones, man. Yep. And a good comparison. I like that. Comics says regardless of that iteration, we get the book. This book will skyrocket. Yeah, definitely, definitely, man. And I'm going to show you guys. I looked up the 6.5s. The 6.5s here. So the price is going up, man. I mean, we see COVID happen around right here, and you just see things just kind of go up, man.
You can't get a 6.5 under $2,000. That is crazy.
Yeah. Might as well get an 8.0, bro. We just say
yeah, we're good.
Yeah, look at that 8.0.
And I always say that, like on this, ever since I've been on the show. It's like when you look at stuff like that, just save a little bit more, and get that better copy. If you're gonna get it, get the copy you really want.
No, great pick, man. I really like this one, man. That definitely is a really good investment book, man. That's a book that'll overnight, man. If we get some news, double. Like overnight.
Yeah.
Overnight double.
I hesitated about putting this up there as like a quote spec book because it's a grail. Like it's a well-known book. It's we all know about it, but everything you guys just said, I think we all see this book going up. Whenever there is an announcement.
Oh, definitely, man, definitely. Who's the dude who played it, man? I keep forgetting it. I can't.
Nick Cage.
Nick, bro, I love that. I love that movie, bro. Did you guys when we were kids?
After seeing Nick Cage do this most recent movie, I've learned to appreciate a lot of his older movies. The first one is actually for its time period is really good for its time period.
It was a good MCU movie, bro.
Yeah.
It was decent, right? Like it was watchable, man. I mean, I remember it.
Yeah, I could watch it.
I don't think Nick Cage was the best character at the time. He did a decent role, but what made that movie was Peter Fonda playing the devil himself. I mean, he was an older veteran actor. I wish there was more of him, but he was outstanding in that. And the rest of the cast wasn't bad at all. Of course, we had what was her name? The gorgeous girlfriend that he had. Her name escapes me. Eva Mendes. Yeah, I mean, it was the second one wasn't as that second one just sort of went flat. But I wish they would have picked a more darker character. Who was that I wanted to see? He played in a True Detective.
Matthew McConaughey. No,
Matthew McConaughey. Yeah, because he played a very dark character. Yes, he played a very dark character in that role. And I was thinking while watching that very creepy show, he would be a perfect Ghost Rider because he doesn't have to act. He's just kind of creepy anyway.
I want Keanu Reeves because he's a big motorcycle guy.
How about this Sam Elliott? I like this guy, man.
Sam Elliott, yeah, he was excellent.
He'd be good. He's excellent, man. You'd be excellent.
Well, he tied the first Ghost Rider on the horse from a book I almost had. Damn it, I bet it never got it. But are those two tied? Since I've never owned that book, are they tied? Is that tied to this character here? Is that the?
I never read the original old one. Yeah.
Yeah, the 12 center.
The one on the horse.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, the one on the horse. Yeah.
I
don't think so.
It was, yeah.
Or was it? Or was that the attempt in the movie to tie those two characters together?
Well, I know Marvel owns both characters, so that's probably what.
Yeah, it's in my head, man. I have the book, man. It's in my head, but Comicbooks says, but it's good to get an affordable grade, then upgrade when you can. Yeah, totally, man. If you can get one of them old label ones, right? Get those old label ones, crack it, and and do some magic on it, man. Then Godly says, agreed, man.
That's the trick right there.
You gotta find those labels that are that the blues turn into white. You know what I'm saying? And then, then you're like, okay, I will pay you for that. Keanu Reeves would be the next Ghost Rider. Mark my
That's what I
words.
was thinking.
It would be good. I dig that, man. Keanu was there. Don't worry, F. Screenshots your comments for future proof. There you go. All right, guys. Let's move on to our freezer picks, man, and let's see what everybody got here. Freezer picks, man, and you know what, guys? I forgot to do this, man. I'm gonna play some beats while we're talking, and I want to see what you guys think about it, man. I got some beats by my boy Darian. He'll start playing, but these are freezer picks, books on the dip, man. Books on the dip, books that you could buy right now that are probably on a half price, maybe even 60-70% off, man. So my first pick for this is Philadelphia. I am a big fan of this book, man, and Rodney Barnes and Jason Sean Alexander. If you guys haven't read this book, man, if you guys, the trades are out, man, Volume 3 all the way through Volume 4, man, this is a good book to actually grab right now. You know what I'm saying? This book goes for about $25. 9.8 is about $63, man. To me, it's a father and son, a redemption, and a power play, man. We got ex-presidents becoming vampires, man, from Sam Adams to Thomas Jefferson, man, and it's just a really good read. And the thing about this book, it was actually optioned by Levantine, and everybody thinks, I thought it was being optioned by Netflix, and I thought it was being optioned by HBO, but it's actually optioned by the Levantine Film Group. And they're the film group that put together Hidden Figures, man. Do you guys watch Hidden Figures? About the women who sent, the first rocket to space, man, the mathematicians. So it's a really good book, man, and I really enjoy it, man. Rodney Barnes, he's a player in Hollywood, man. He is a big player in Hollywood, man. He produced a lot of big films. He is a writer for a lot of different TV shows. And he actually wrote one of my favorite. He's one of the producers and writers of one of my favorite shows on HBO that came out recently. That's called Winning Time with the Lakers, and I know John loves that show. Really good show. Really good show, man. So this is what I'm thinking, man. Rodney Barnes got a hit with Winning Time. He's opened the doors for himself, and he has Philadelphia, and Philadelphia is already been optioned. And I heard that they already got actors attached to it, man. And he's a really big player in Hollywood, and I think this is gonna come up pretty soon, man, as something that's going to be held on streaming, man, maybe HBO or Netflix or Hulu. But it's a great book, and it's made for streaming, man. It's made for television. You know what I'm saying? Because he is a master at writing a script for television as well, man. So one of the variants that I like for this is this Matina cover. It's by Sad Melon. It's limited to 500, man. This book was hot when it came out. Do you guys remember this one? You guys remember this when it came out? It's a pretty hot book, man. There's only 500 of these. This is the version of it. And this book goes for about $250, man. So back in the day, I should have bought one, man, when it came out at 9.8. I knew I should have. They're at 90 now. They kind of doubled on you. But if you're not looking for that and you just want to get cover A, man, so cover A goes for about $25. There's also a second print. I think that goes for about $12. 9.8 says they go for $63. And then if it'll surprise you, man, Philadelphia, because 1 through 8 is about a 10. 1 through 8, all the cover A's are like $10 to $15. So this is a very popular book. It's actually on my pull, man. I don't actually touch the books, man. I buy the trades. I have all the trades right here. So, and it's, one of the books I love to read, man. You got anybody else reading Philadelphia besides me?
I need to.
That was all the rage 2 years ago. Whenever it came out, I picked it up.
I know I have like the first 3 issues. Yeah.
Yeah, man. And look, and golly, man, there's also one right here that Tom McFarlane cover, man. I always call it the Tupac Vampire. You know what I'm saying? So that's another great one to pick up as well. But Rodney Barnes is actually trying to create this whole universe, man. This whole universe around Philadelphia. He has Nita Hawes connected to it. And that's another book that's been a great read as well. So I really think he's setting us up to add to a streaming service, man. And I think when I'm seeing the success of like Sandman, I'm seeing the success of like Paper Girls and a lot of these other horror comics that are coming out. I mean, it's opening doors for like horror comics to be on film, on TV at least, on TV at least. And I think this is a great one to grab right now. You can actually probably get it for half the price than $25. So, any thoughts on Philadelphia, man? I know I'm probably the only one reading Philadelphia at the moment, man. I read it whenever it comes out, man. It's a great book to read.
That 9/8 for $63 is a great deal. That's a steal, in my opinion.
It's a steal, man, for real.
Yeah.
Let me see. Go to the comments right here. I bet Todd has decided a mini. I know. I have one. I have one of those the Tom McFarlane ones that he did. I forgot what issue it is, but I'm waiting for that because we heard at Comic-Con, man, that Todd's gonna be signing for CGC in December. So that's gonna be a time to send all those books. But that's my pick, man. Philadelphia, man. Great read, great book by a great writer and producer in Hollywood, man, that knows how the system works, man. So look for this on the streaming platform near you when it comes out. Next up, man, is Ja. What you got, Ja?
All right, so this is the third magazine in my picks today. This is Marvel 1989 in review. It's a 40-plus year comic book magazine. The reason I like this one, obviously, Todd McFarlane cover, and Todd McFarlane is a hot artist, of course. Covers are in demand. In this particular case, I guess what Godley just said, he's going to be signing in December. So this is like a Time magazine style format. They even have like a business section that talks about Marvel specific kind of related business. So it's kind of like everything's surrounding like Marvel. Ads in the magazine, for example, there's a damage control ad in there as well. So it's like Time magazine, but it's all about Marvel. And then if you look in the corner, there's She-Hulk up there as well. So it's something that caught my eye. It's really cheap. Something that I don't think many people actually have. I don't know, maybe you do, but something that I thought would be a good pickup.
I'm looking for this one, man. Because I'm a McFarlane cover collector, and the prices aren't bad, man. The prices are pretty good. $10, man. $10 for shipping.
Ja, is that comic book size or magazine size?
I believe it's a magazine size. That's what.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
And they also came out with other ones too. Every year they've come out with one, but this one was McFarlane, and that's why I thought it would be kind of a cool feature for the freezer.
I love the cover, and I love the little microphones. Not New York News, but My News instead of ABC News, ABD News. It's kind of he had some fun with it.
Right. It's about something about superhero registration, and they're all asking them questions, things like that. So it's kind of like supposed to be like in the news.
Oh, right. Okay. Very cool. I like it.
Very cool, man. I dig it, man. What you think, Matt?
I've never even seen that. And I'm a giant Todd McFarlane fan. So, no, that is a really great pick on there. And how is that book how have I never heard of this book? So you're right. This is a great freezer pick. Because everyone's going for, the early Todd McFarlane covers. This book might be a really good one to pick up.
Especially for December, man. You can get this in that oversized slab, signed by McFarlane. So great pick. What do you think, Who Dat?
Great book to probably get signed by Todd McFarlane and probably jump in that line for magazine size books too. Just thinking of that because they guarantee you stuff to get graded. So that's actually probably a book that he's probably never signed, and probably not many in the sense of graded sign. And it's his classic big eyes, Todd McFarlane, which it's funny, but it's a classic at the same time. You could tell a Todd McFarlane Spider-Man book a mile away.
Yeah.
I think I've never seen this book, and I think it's just be cool to get something signed that's unique. I always think of stuff like that. When you're getting stuff signed, like what is something unique that other people might not have.
Well, only someone like Todd McFarlane can how do you put this? He can make a facial expression by the size of the eyes and the shape of the eyes. on Spider-Man's mask.
Man, and you know, man, these books, man, by Todd McFarlane, when it's announced probably in October that he'll be signing in December, they like double, triple. You know, like it's crazy, man. Like, because everybody's trying to get these high grade books to send it over to CGC, man. You know, for the big Todd signing. And I think it was pretty much confirmed, man. It was pretty much confirmed that Todd's gonna be signing in December, man. I think I overheard it, you know, of him saying it as well, man.
He said it live. He said it live on video. He just didn't say the date, but he said he's doing a signing.
Who sent it into something to Todd? I'm sending like 5 books. Who sent it in? And for real, you got to, right?
At least one.
At least one, man. You know, like you know, I have a couple books. I got a 300 I want to sign for.
And 2 books.
Man, I almost said like 5, bro. Like I missed it last time, bro. I was like, oh, he'll come and sign back. Then the next year, then COVID happened. It was over. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
We got Double Ninja, man. We got Eric in the house. What's up, Eric? Go ahead, bro.
I have a Spawn 1, a black and white cover. It's a 9.8, and I dropped it right here, I don't know, a year ago, and it didn't ruin it, but there's a crack in the case.
Oh.
And I'm like, I'm going to wait until Todd McFarlane does the signing, and I'll send that book down there to get, you know, slabbed. It's perfect. And then I have an ASM 300 9.8. I don't know. It's kind of scary if you have a 9.8 to send it to be cracked and signed. Is it going to come back a 9.8? I don't know. I'm kind of excited about this Todd McFarlane news. You guys just blew me away because I'd never heard this.
I'll say it like this. If I had both of those books, I'm definitely sending the Spawn. I'd be nervous about the Spider-Man.
Well, the Spawn's getting up there pretty good, too. It's a black and white cover.
Well, the only reason I say it because you said it's already cracked. So that's why I was like, I have no problem saying that.
Just include some staples. Include some staples in the package, man. You'll be fine, bro. You know, so
and don't forget the acetate.
Put it in a plastic bag, bro, and then draw some shit on it, and you'll be fine. Okay, so CJ,
come back 10-0.
I know, right? Lexi said it was. CGC announced it in a video. So it's usually in December, man, when Todd does it. But great pick, John, man. I didn't. I've been looking for this book though. I mean, this, you know, to put together my Todd collection, man. But I might have to put a bid in before they announce Todd's coming, bro. You know,
it's another one that we don't see at a con either. Another one.
No, you don't, man. You don't see these, man. I mean, we've been at cons, we don't see them. Next up, man, who that, man, with some silk action, bro? Go ahead, bro.
Well, you know, first appearance of Cindy Moon at Silk. Book that I've seen going down in price for no reason, but I think because of delays, because we know there's a TV show that Sony's doing. They picked Amazon to do it, which I thought was amazing because Amazon has been doing some killer TV. They actually have a great showrunner to do the show. Tom, I'm not even going to specifically, I don't know how to say his name, but he did the showrunner for HBO's TV show Watchmen that won, you know, Emmy Award show for that. It got delayed because of COVID, but it should be currently filming right now, or it might be filming soon. But everything I read about this is it's still a green light to do. And if Amazon did sign a deal with Amazon to get it done, it's going to get done, and it's probably going to be high quality production. I'm not saying buy the book because of that, but I've seen stuff like that get higher in price, and you be like, oh man, I don't have that book. You know, it's like, you know, we're all collectors. Like, you don't have something, and then all of a sudden you're like, oh man, it's double the price. Because I think currently you can get 9/8 for under $300, which if you talk to the right people, like I always say, get that word out. Probably can get it for $250 to $225 for a 9/8. And when people want to sell raw copies for close to $200, it's like one of those female character, or I think Korean American, if I'm not mistaken. So it has a lot of different aspects that, you know, like I said, some people might not like, but it's inclusiveness to the world we live in, you know, and it ties in with ties in with Peter Parker, because the spider that bit Peter the same spider that bit her.
I like it, man. This was a hot book, man, for a second. I mean, it always goes ups and downs, right? Like there's always some. Anytime that we hear about a female spider woman, coming, like some type of rumor, Silk and Spider Woman always go up, man. And this was like last year, bro. Like this book was fire, bro. What do you think? What do you think, John? I know you're into it, man.
Yeah. I mean, this is on a dip right now. It's a perfect time to buy it.
Yeah.
And then who'd had, correct me if I'm wrong. There's 3 other covers of this. There's a variant, right? As far as
there's
actually,
I think they're actually more than 3 because they have 3 different. I think, I know what you're talking about. They got the 1 in 10, and then they have the J. Scott Campbell, but he has like 3 different covers. That he has like a regular cover, J. Scott. You know how J. Scott does it. Then he has a negative. Then he has a reverse negative, and they're all limited print, like limited number. Those are actually more limited than the 1 in 10, or more rare than the 1 in 10. But yeah, so that's like 5 different covers, but it's not like we get nowadays, like 1,000 different variants.
There's a second print to this book too, man. Like it just says second print on the bottom. So like
you wouldn't even notice it if you don't pay attention.
Yeah, I didn't. I had one and I didn't even notice it. I was like, huh? Even CGC missed it, bro. Like, cause I got it graded, and it didn't even say second print, bro. They totally missed it, So
great pick.
Great pick, man. Great pick. Matt, do you have any words for Silk here, bro?
This is one of those examples, okay? This is why I love to collect comic books. This is why I'm into the hobby. These stories are so fun to read, and whenever I cracked ASM 4, whenever I read it years ago, I was just really excited to read this story. And it's I don't know, this is one of those characters that makes you excited. And this is a great pick because last year, this book was hot as could be. In fact, I was looking around my room. I have a copy of this book somewhere hanging on a wall, and I can't find where it's at. So hopefully my kid didn't sell it for something. So, but this is just one of those characters that makes you smile to be a comic book or collector because it's a good story. It's a fun read, and other people are starting to recognize the potential that this character has.
Dan Slott, man. Dan Slott writes some fun stuff on Spider-Man.
Yeah.
I think me and Jar were at the panel, and I was just watching Dan Slott look at the slides, and that dude was just smiling like he was Santa Claus, bro. Like it was Christmas, man. He loves what he does, bro. Dan, man, how about modern character, man? Any thoughts?
It's one of the books that I would be interested in getting, and I'm one of those people that, even though it's a modern book, I don't have to get the 9.8. If I find a nice high grade 8.5 or something, or raw, I'm totally happy with that, just to actually read to see what they did with this particular character. But it's in my particular case, it's more or less on the back burner. But if I saw it, I wouldn't pass it up.
Definitely, man. Let's see what the prices are, because this is on a good dip. So this is right now, man. The prices as of August 12th. So back in the day, bro, like just a year ago, this was a $400 book, man. It was a $500 book. But so about $500, $450 to $550, and now you can buy this thing for $300, man. Maybe even $250.
And I can tell you right now, those are high because I've seen them on IG for around $250.
Look at that right there. Was that you? Who dat? Right there, the $225. That was bro. $282. I can tell which ones are who dat, bro. Like you always getting the deals, bro. Yeah. So this is like kind of it's about a half price book right now, man. If you want to invest in a female Spider-Man, and I think we're gonna get a female Spider-Man. We could get it in the live action and more possibly in the animated in the animated show, man. And I really like Into the Spider-Verse.
And I forgot the character is gonna be in the new Spider-Verse, the cartoon version. So the character will be in the new movie. But they are doing a live action TV.
I think I'm looking more forward into Spider-Verse than some of the Marvel films that are coming out, bro.
Is it just me, though, or are there more female Spider-Women now today than there were male? You've got Miles Morales and Peter Parker, and for the women, you've got...
you got Spider-Man Noir, too.
Right.
Spider-Zero.
You got Spider Punk.
Spider Zero, yep. And you got
Well,
the
Firepunk, yeah.
Oh, the Garden Spider. Remember that a few issues ago? Yeah, there's a bunch of those guys. But
you got the Robot Spider. Whatever
Yeah.
the spider name.
do you think that? I guess the point is, are they expanding too much with this character? Kind of watering it down too much?
Well, I like the reason why I like this character is because it's similar but different.
Okay.
Silk.
Yeah.
He took the similar. I mean, because let's be honest. I mean, that spider bit Peter Parker. The odds of it biting another person are high.
Yeah.
So to build a story off another character and then how her powers work are different from Peter. I think she something else. Somebody correct me if I'm wrong in the chat, but I think she's pheromone that gets Peter attracted to her. Like I think that I remember correctly. So it's like a lot of different things that I like. That's different, but the origin is similar, but not the same. You know, it's not like a Spider Woman. You know, it's like we're just gonna Spider-Man and this thing is a woman. This is like totally a little bit like. I just like the idea of it, and I think they can work very well. And this could be tied in without having let's get Julian Carpenter Spider Woman.
Right,
you know?
right.
And,
But we are in the multiverse era, you know, so anything can happen, bro. They just could pop anybody in and out, man. Like, you know, and they all come from different universes, man. So let me see here, man. Past Airford says, don't get me started on Deathslot. What, bro? What did Deathslot do to you, bro? Like, and then what's happening? We got Nando tonight, bro. Part of the Wednesday night fudgets, man. What's up, Nando? How you doing, bro? And he's my Roosevelt homie, bro. We always supporting the Roosevelts, man. So let's move on, man. And who we got next? We got Matt, bro. Matt with the big one. What's up, Matt?
Now, when I say this, this is kind of like the Ghost Rider. It's a big grail. I'm not saying it's like tanked or anything like that, but this book before Black Panther movie came out, it was low grade was relatively affordable. Then it skyrocketed, and then it's horrible news. Chadwick Boseman, it was up there pretty good after he passed away, but it started to cool back a little bit. But this book, there's just so much potential for this. The character is solid, and then whenever we come out with Black Panther 2, this book is just gonna go right up, right again. This one has a lot of potential, but it's kind of in a little lull at this moment. So if you've been wanting to get this book, but just it was just out of reach, this might be a time to look at it again.
I love this book, bro. I love this book, man. I know Dan loves this book too. I think Joe loves this book and said Who Dat loves this book. Look, Who Dat pointed to it, bro. I love this book. Go ahead, Dan. I'm gonna start with Dan, man, on this one.
Well, even though I don't have my Amazing Fantasy 15 anymore in my collection, I think it's a far smarter collection because I have the first Ghost Rider. When I got this one here, it was a month before the sad passing of Chadwick Boseman, and I was just stunned that I have it because this is a pretty mid-grade raw copy. And it's just it's a deep grail. And as Matt says, this has been greatly undervalued for the longest time. It shouldn't be. And this is one of the mistakes that we are hinging on, every word from the MCU because they haven't made a decision one way or the other, at least publicly, what they're going to do with the character. But again, as I've said before, in the MCU, there has to be an Iron Man, there has to be a Black Panther, there has to be Thor. And until they solidify that character, this is going to remain undervalued. You shouldn't be waiting on this. You should get your hands on a nice one while you can. At some point, like the Ghost Rider, this will be unreachable.
Man, I just think Black Panther's immortal, bro. Man, Chadwick made him immortal, bro. Like he's no matter what.
He was perfect. He was perfect for the role.
He's like, man, he makes it immortal, bro. Like it's such a great book. Go ahead, John. I know you love it too, bro.
Yeah, it's sad. Chadwick Boseman passed away. They're great actor, filled that role right there. But this is, the FF1 to like almost 100 is just a lot of great books, a lot of key books. Again, all black cover. It's the first appearance of Black Panther. It's undervalued in my opinion. It's an iconic character now after the movie and all the things that have happened, unfortunately. But it's an iconic character, and I think it just has more room to grow once the second movie comes out. And what Marvel does with the character, I would love to see
Can't wait. Huh?
Yeah, it's a great pick.
Yeah.
Can't wait for man. I can't wait for Black Panther. It's in November, right, man? We gotta wait till November, man. Dang.
Yeah.
Oh,
Who
it's
that?
going to be amazing.
Who that? Go ahead, man.
Man, this is a character that this I bought this book like way before they announced anything for Black Panther or in Civil War or whatever. This, like people say, this is the reason it's undervalued at a certain point. And the point I'm going to say with that is undervalued. 8.5s and under are not priced correctly, in my opinion. A 8.5, which I own, it's about almost $10,000 less than a 9.0, which is, if you put an 8.5 and a 9.0 next to each other without being the number being there, you probably can't tell the difference.
Yep.
Right.
And that doesn't. That's why I think, like you said, this book has a lot more room to grow in all of the grades under 8.5 and under. It dipped for some strange reason. It's still a character that's going to be going on in the MCU. I think they're going to change their tune eventually, and we're going to get a new Black Panther, probably in Secret Wars. It would make sense. And maybe they merge timelines. We get it, but you got to have a T'Challa. It means a lot more than just for the MCU, for the culture and for people who've experienced this character on the big screen. Being African American, you don't have that many characters that you can look up to, and a lot of kids and a lot of male kids went to this movie not for Chadwick Boseman. They went to see Black Panther T'Challa being played by Chadwick Boseman. It wasn't Chadwick Boseman that brought him there. And the reason why I say that, because when these same people that I've seen with when he Infinity War, when he got dusted, I couldn't. I was so many tears were dropped in that movie, and people couldn't believe
That was
that they
messed up,
dusted
bro.
him. Yeah, people yelling, "I can't believe you did this! We just got him," and they weren't talking about Chad. We're talking about the character. This is a good book. This is a foundation of a collection. I always say stuff about Fantastic Four books under 52. Like 52 and under is like those are, even if they're not major characters, those are just history. That's just history. But and I can't say anything more about this character, but I love it, and I wish I would have got a 9.0, but at that time when I bought the 8.5, it was still expensive at a 9.0.
Yeah.
Let's see what the 6.5s are going for, man. So 6.5s as of as of today, as of yesterday. Yesterday went for $1,560. So we're looking. Look at there. There's a big dip. You can see the dip right here. Look, these two sold for about $2,500. Let's see here. So back in let me see here on the 812. It's prices are still kind of going up for here, man. But you said, who that? There's a lot of room. Like you said, between 8.5 and a 9.0, right?
Yeah. 8.5 and under. I wouldn't be mad at anybody getting one of those books, because you'll get a return in your investment, because everything these are investments at the end of the day, even though collectibles, but it's going to continue to go up, and I think 6.5 is a sweet spot too.
Look at this love though for Black Panther, man. Like it's
a
lot of books are like a lot of books are kind of like going half price, but look at Black Panther. Steve still holds true, man.
When was Comic-Con? What was it? July,
always in July.
It's July. The reason why I asked that, 20 was the end of July.
Yeah, around July 24th.
Like that sale at July 10th was $1,680. Like somebody was like, "I'm ready."
So I if you guys looked at the Lego Lego Black Panther 2, did you see that? And you saw? Did you see who they have formed as Black Panther on there? Yeah. So
I already knew. See, it's good to have people in certain parts of the industry. I already knew about. It's no secret. I mean, she got injured doing a stunt. And they had to take time off in the movie because she broke her collarbone.
Yeah, I don't want to crack it. I don't want to crack it for anybody. If they want to go look at it on the Lego, the Lego,
you can look it up on Lego, but like it was, like I said, breadcrumbs. Marvel leads you, follow the bread.
So what's up, man? Are you getting rid of that book or what?
What book?
The book with the person that's on the Lego box.
I already did. I read it. This guy.
Yeah, I know you got a few, bro.
And it's so funny about that book. The guy who bought it said he has bad FOMO, and he admitted it. So he was like, let me get it now. And he's like, when I get some more FOMO for stuff, I'm gonna message you. So but yeah, it's a great book, man. But the one to get, don't get the J. Scott Campbell one. The one to get is issue 5, if I'm not mistaken, where Shuri appears as Black Panther. That's just.
Oh, okay, I got you. Yeah, the J. Scott ones, right?
Yeah.
The J. Scott ones, right?
She doesn't appear in the story until issue 5. I read that series, which I really like. That's a really good series. If anybody wants to read a Black Panther series, really good. It's that series.
I think I sold mine too fast, bro. But oh well, man. But on to our favorite segment. Because we all agreed on one book.
Come on, now, to the now.
All right, the Nana pick, man. We all agreed. Everybody on the panel, man. We all agree this is the book that we shouldn't buy because it's there's plastic over a facsimile with a couple staples and the controversy around this book. All right, man. This is our time to give our thoughts on this book, man. So I would not buy it, but if I had it, I'd be selling the hell out of it right now. I'm just saying. I'm being honest, man. This book would be on eBay for me right now, man. I don't have a book. I was not even close to Chicago, so I don't be looking at the hood like, yo, bro, you one of those guys? Nah, bro. I was in California sleeping because I had just come back from San Diego Comic-Con. And I woke up like 7 days later after San Diego Comic-Con, looked on my damn phone, and all I could see is like this book. And I'm like, what the hell is going on with this book? Then I went back to sleep. Then I woke up a week later, and I was still on my Instagram feed, and people are still talking about it. So that's my thoughts. If I won't buy it, but if I have it, if people want to buy it for $15,000, hey, man, have fun, bro. Have fun. You know what I'm saying? So I would sell this book in a hot minute, man. So I ain't hating on anybody selling this book because people are buying it. That's my thing, man. It's like if people are going to buy a book, it ain't your fault. It ain't my fault that you're buying the book, bro. Like, that's your money. That's your money. You're the one. I'm not putting a gun to your head and say, hey, push buy now. No, bro. I put it up. You buy it. Hey, bro, like, more power to you. I'll send it to you like double. I will send this to you in a case. You buy it from me for $15,000. I will buy a safe. I will go to Costco and I will buy a damn safe. Bro, I will fly it to you. Yeah. There you go. I will fly it to you and I'll buy a case.
And deliver it.
And I'll buy one of those cases and I'll put handcuffs on me and I'll come to your house and I'll give you the key to unlock it from my handcuff and then give it to you. And then you can put it in your gun safe or your safe or whatever, bro. Like, but I would give it to you for that. That's me. How about you? Dan? What you thinking about this book?
I'm looking at I got two thoughts. Looking at the bottom one here, $15,000 and there's 17 bids currently. Only $8.95 for shipping. How do you insure something that's $15,000 and it's only less than $9 to ship it? How is that supposed to work?
You send it. What's it called? I can't think right now. But
media mail.
Not media mail. It's a like insurance. It's not a.
You have to do the priority mail.
Priority mail, yeah.
Right here, priority mail.
Whatever it is, registered mail. That's what you have to do. Registered mail, but you can go up to like $40,000 for registered mail.
Yeah,
wow.
I'm sitting in one of these, man. You know these, right? But
okay.
you only can insure up to like what, $100?
No, $500.
5,000? That's 15,000, bro. Like what? You better triple that insurance, bro. Like
The second comment I have is I know the whole fiasco behind this, but what bothers me the most is CGC's decision to stand behind the grading of this. I mean, what were they thinking? This was abstract art? Is that how they judged that 9.8?
No, it's a Monet, bro.
Yeah. With all this, but with all the shenanigans that CGC has gone through, this is the last thing they should have done. And that statement to back that up was the stupidest thing I've ever heard of. You know, I'm done with CGC. It's CBCS and EGS slabs for me.
It's hard, man. It's just like CGC. You're making a fool of yourself. Like, just I don't know what you're thinking. I don't know what you're thinking, guys. What do you think, Ja?
Man, I'm done with this shitty book, man. I don't really even want to talk. I mean, like, no one's gonna even like Efren said, my brother. He's correct.
Yeah.
No one's paying this kind of money for this book. This is all shill bids. I agree. You know, at bottom line, I'd rather have a first print of the original. I'd rather have the second prints. How are the second prints so cheap still? I don't know. Yeah, man.
Bro. I mean, this is from a friend. I'm not gonna name my friend, but he had this book. He put it on eBay for $350. It sold in 2 minutes. And he has nothing to do. He wasn't in Chicago. He had nothing to do with it. You know what I'm saying? People are actually buying the damn book, bro. Like, people are actually buying it. Like, no one's putting guns at people's heads, bro, and saying you need to buy this book for $350, bro.
That
like,
friend of yours is really smart. He did a good thing. So
yeah, he did a good thing, bro. Like, but it's a friend that I know, and like, and it's a true story, bro. Like, people are, what are they thinking, bro? I mean, us over here, we're telling people to buy silver and bronze, right? Like, buy silver and bronze. What the hell you doing, man? Buying this damn book, man. You know what I'm saying? Like, go ahead, Matt. You guys,
it's a reprint.
It's a reprint, bro. Oh man,
This is it's a reprint of a reprint, actually, but
Yeah.
it's I don't know what to say about this book. I'm not gonna get into the controversy side all about it stuff. If I would have been at Chicago, I probably would have stood in line just to get it.
I would have,
because I like Miles. I like Miles Morales. But after all the fiasco and everything else, I probably would have sold it too, $350, $400, whatever it is, just to get rid of it at that point, because I only paid $80 or $100 for it. But it's too much going on with that book that I wouldn't even want to have it if I was a Miles collector. You know, it's not manufactured correctly. It's basically just somebody that did it themselves, and people wonder why CGC is standing behind it. CGC never admits anything wrong. We've got to remember that. From the Newton rings along with the inner well issues, they don't admit anything wrong, so that's not surprising. It's just a sad day, you know, with CGC on that end. But it's $15,000. You can buy a 9.8 of the regular. Well, you can buy like 3 of them or 4 of them. Four or 5 of them.
You can buy all the books we talked about today and have money left over. You know.
But I mean,
this book is an integrity killer, man. Like, it killed the integrity of Black Flags, right? Killed the integrity of Whatnot. Killed the integrity of CGC. Like, this is bad juju, bro. Like, it's just stay away, you know.
What it really is gonna kill out of all those 3 things you name, and I hate to say it because we want small businesses to survive, but when you say a lot of stuff you said and do a lot of stuff you do, pretty much killing your own business. And Black Flag, I hate to see it, might not survive this. CGC will, Whatnot will, because they have, you know, other all of those companies will. Even the people who are in controversy for doing the stuff they said that was done, which I can't confirm or deny it, I wasn't there. But Black Flag, for a lot of the stuff they said and what happened with this book and how they handled it, that's not good when you're a small business. I'm just, you know, it's not. I mean, ask Scorpion Comics. I mean, you can ask a few of these companies that were doing well, and all of a sudden they're closed down. So
I'm not hating on
Yeah,
Bro,
I hope they don't.
I'm not hating on anybody that bought this book. I
Oh
mean,
yeah, no, yeah.
you know, like I mean,
I would've bought it.
let's not lie,
I
bro.
would've
Like
bought
I'm attracted to heat, bro. Like I would have been in that line for this book. You know,
I
what
mean,
I'm saying?
I would have been in line for the Heat. I would have been in line because of Miles Morales.
Yeah,
I would have been in there for that. And I mean,
that too.
yeah. So it's like, yeah, Clayton Crane too. Like I really like Clayton Crane as well. I forgot about that, but you know, it's definitely not. If anybody who bought it, not mad. I'm not saying anything bad. I'm like you said. It's just it's because I would have bought it too. It's just how other things unravel.
It all comes down to Black Flag. Like in San Diego Comic-Con, like you can only get one, right? John was there, right? Like every booth, you can only buy one per. You know, one per. No matter if you're a influencer or if you're just a regular dude that watches YouTube or you're just a collector, it was one per. Like they messed up when they were selling. You know, when they had one line. I saw the video when they had one line for like some people and then another line for some people and then another line for some other people. You know, like that's stupid, bro. Like. You know, you knew someone was gonna catch you. You know what I'm saying? That shit.
Well, and I'll say this because of my job. I always tell people this: don't give information that is not needed.
Yeah.
A lot of this stuff happened, and a lot of stuff, even with Black Flag, a lot of people talked, and nobody asked you those questions.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so you don't have to give information that is not nobody. If nobody asks you for it, don't give that information. I'll just leave it like that. Man. Yeah, you know, if you don't know what I'm talking about, watch the first 48.
Yeah. Just stay away from this, man. It's just a book just to stay away from. I'm glad I didn't go to Chicago. I'm glad I was 5,000 miles away, bro. Like, you know, and not in the conversation. Because I won't lie, man. I would have been that damn line. I would have been there, and my ass would have been in trouble, bro. Like, so, you know, like,
I would have been in that line,
real.
and I would have got in trouble for yelling at somebody for cutting the line. That's what I would.
John would have been with me, bro. John would have been with me. We were like, what the fuck? What's this other line for, bro? Yeah. I would have been pissed, you know, like. And I saw a video of a guy. I don't know who he was, but he documented the whole thing, like how he drove like 4 hours away and went in line. I heard about that, I was like, damn, bro, now that's some messed up stuff, bro. Like, you know, like, but it's not those people's faults, man. It's like it should have started. It starts from the top. The people selling the damn book, man. You should have just put everybody in line. You know, it's only 750, so everybody gets one. You know, everybody gets one. If you're lucky enough, you could go the back of the line like we had to do at Comic-Con. Like you go and buy your book, you go to the back of the line, and you hope you can get a second one, that it doesn't sell out by the time you get back up to the front behind another 800 people. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, you know, it just is what it is, man. But you know what? Hype says, man, look for the Tyrone exclusive, man. They don't have characters with wrong names next to them, bro. I'm looking forward to that one, man. Looking forward to that one. And we got Cooks in the house, man. I'm gonna be on Cook Show, I think at the end of August, man. So go check out Cooks over on Instagram, man. Then we got 9.9 Newsstand. There are no good grading companies. I don't. We're gonna. Dad's gonna talk about that, man. CGC shouldn't make everybody look bad, bro. You know, because CGC is making everybody look bad. You know what I'm saying? So, but watch CGC, watch this and grade and give me 9.0s on everything now. So, bro, I think they watch the show because I got some 9.0s. Like, what the fuck is this a 9.0 for, bro? Like, it's a perfect.
They're mad at you.
Yeah, bro, they're probably mad, bro. You know, like we're all gonna get 9.0, so don't go to CGC, guys, on here in the panel. So.
Shoot, I'm sending some books off here soon. Thanks, Hoodrat.
I know, right? Man, I'm sorry, bro. We'll just give me a marker and I'll put an 8. You know, so that book is good. We'll do it like they did it, man. Black Flag, bro. We'll just like put an acetate over it, put an 8. You know, that book is good. I love it. I'll take none, please. You know, and ugly. I think buyers. These are buyers who just want to make a quick buck. But man, they're buying these books for like $350. That's a lot of money. You know what I'm saying? But if you get selling for $11,000, go ahead, man.
Okay, we know that nobody's paying $15,000 for this shield book, but what is the market for this book? And I mean, you said somebody's paying $350 for it. What's going to happen to this book 6 months down the road whenever all the controversy dies down? Is this a book to really want, or is this going to be one? I feel this book's just going to crash. Nobody's going to want it 6 months down the road. But there's a part of me that thinks this was such a big deal. People got their panties all in a bind, all upset. Is this book going to be a book to collect in the future because of all of the drama that's going on?
Yeah, I kind of have to agree. Unfortunately, I kind of agree with that. It's kind of those books that were banned, or they've had cease and desist orders on certain books, and there's a possibility that it could happen. I agree. It's been so blown up and blown out of proportion. It's just part
it's
of
a book of history.
Yeah,
It's comic book history now, man. Like it's comic book history, man. That's what I'm thinking. People are buying. I don't want none of it. This book is just bad juju, but it is. It's part of comic book history. We're talking about it now and having fun about it, man. I think, I'm in agreement with John, man, and Matt, man. At the same, it is what it is, man. It is what it is, man. And let me see here. We have a lot of comments. I want to get everybody's opinion on here. So, nothing wrong with that, but I would not buy a book. We grew up in silver and bronze age. That's what we always preach out in the show. Like, buy bronze and silver. Like, what are you guys thinking, man?
Can't go wrong.
Can't go wrong, man. Y'all need to stop. This book is truly amazing. Well, I can't believe everybody's hating on this book. I'll take 20 copies and do it for first print. Bro, but you got to be in that other line to get 20 copies. I don't know if none of us will be. I don't think any of us are allowed in that other line, So, it is what it is. Left Throws, man. What's up, Left Throws, bro? And TGC is the most disappointing. I don't do business with anyone else complicated in any of this. Yep, for reals, bro. Steezy, what's up, bro? Carlos says, where's the Mexican variant? There you go, bro. The one with yeah, bro. Where is it, man? Where is it, man? Steezy says,
the La Mola cover, I think.
Yeah. And it's gonna be fire because of the drama, man. Yeah, it's drama, man. But yeah, man, we're gonna put this one to sleep, man, because and this is one that we all say.
Come on, now, to the now, to the now.
Bad juju, man. Bad juju, man. But let's get on to some good stuff here, some good stuff, because you know what time it is, man. It's time to learn, right, Dan? Time to learn. Let's do it, man.
Let's go.
Welcome to Comic Book Corner. I'm Dan DeLatorre. Thanks for joining us this evening. Before we begin, let's do our shout out of the evening, and that is to my good friend Chris from Journos Comics. Now, I had picked this shout out. I love everyone in the community, and I'm on a number of shows. And if you had tuned into Chris's show yesterday, there was a bit of a controversy. We'll be talking about this later on in the broadcast. But when I first started watching YouTube shows, at first it was Comic Tom, and then I guess there's an algorithm that YouTube has, and they show you different shows, and Journals was the next one. And here's this guy, Chris, and I started listening to him. I liked the guy. I reached out to him. We became friends, and I sponsor his show. Now, the thing is with the controversy at the moment, Chris is someone that's very, very passionate. He's someone that he lives his life on his sleeve. In other words, he says what's on his mind. Now, he may be very, very vocal and very, very pronounced with his opinions, but Chris is a friend and he's honest. That's the thing I love about this guy. He's very, very passionate, and I appreciate that. But again, you can't damn his honesty. Check out Journos Comics and Pop Culture. He does have great content regarding comics. He's very down to earth, very honest, and he is a friend of mine, and I certainly recommend his channel. Let's move on to our next segment, and that's the economy. And I'm sorry to keep bringing this up. I'm getting tired of bringing this up. But I think if I'm serving the community, I want to give accurate information, and we are not getting accurate information with our economy. Again, we are part of a large comic book community, a large economy, last year celebrating over $9 billion of transactions. The economy is on a downturn. On August 5th, the jobs report came out from a Labor Department, and it reported over 500,000 new jobs in that particular month of July. Now, what the media didn't say, and especially CBS News, they had said, well, wow, 500,000 jobs, there probably is no recession. Look how great things are. What they and the rest of the media did not report to you was that over 300,000 of these jobs are part-time jobs taken by people who are already full-time. They're taking these part-time jobs because they cannot afford to live with just their full-time job, and they simply don't want to either exhaust their savings, their 401k, or they simply can't survive. 80,000 plus of those jobs of the 500,000 were people who took second full-time jobs. This is not a bad, not a good sign, people, not a good sign whatsoever. But your media is not telling you the truth on the economy. We are in a hard recession, and that coupled with very high inflation is a very bad recipe. Now, again, I'm going to keep throwing out the red flag of caution because, again, I want you to enjoy the hobby, but don't get burned because of what information you are not hearing from your media. Sadly, you're hearing it on this little comic book show. Let's move on to our main segment of the title tonight. And before I begin, I want to say this is one of the most complex and difficult segments to put together because it's very complex. It's going to go in a number of different directions. And I don't want to come across as the arbiter of all-knowing, all-seeing regarding the comic book world and its history. But since I've been a collector for the longest time, there are a number of gaps and number of things that I've not seen answered, and haven't even seen certain questions regarding what is what. Now, funny thing is about with the comic world, as old as it is, in next year, I believe, comics will celebrate its 90th anniversary from when the first comic was made, I think back in 1932. Baseball has, for example, Cooperstown and the Hall of Fame and sports writers, and they write down literally every fact and figure, so the history is more black and white. But there is no such arbiter, there is no one organization that makes decisions on things historical regarding comic books. And I wanted to give my perspective, and again, not a professional perspective, but an experienced perspective of what I've seen over the years. And let's start right here with the ages themselves. Let's look at the history. I don't think it's hard to figure out that the golden age started with Action Comics #1 and Detective 27 back in 1938 and 1939, respectively, from DC Comics. Marvel countered with their superheroes in Marvel Comics #1, and that was the beginning of the boom of comic books. But the Silver Age is one of my pet peeves, and let's start with the people that we can lay credit to these ages here. I don't think anyone's going to have any problem with. Let's look at this here. I'm not going to talk so much about DC because I wasn't a DC reader. I have nothing against DC. I love the characters, but as a child, like most kids, you don't have a lot of money, so you only had so much to buy, and I gravitated towards Marvel. I wanted the DC, but couldn't afford them, and I became more of a Marvel aficionado than anything else. But I don't think it's a stretch to say that the Silver Age of DC began with Showcase #4. By the way, I am a DC lover because as a child I loved the Red Flash, and if I could get my hands on that comic, I would today, but it's extremely expensive. But that began the Silver Age for DC, and it continued with Justice League in 1960. But I don't think there's any argument that the Marvel Silver Age began with Fantastic Four #1, and the man who should be credited with that is a gentleman we all know, Stan Lee. Stan Lee was, there's so many things that can be said about this genius, this person we all know and love, and we miss him to this day. He and Jack Kirby were clearly the arbiters and the people responsible, and we give the most credit for them with the Silver Age. Now, with the Bronze Age, the person I personally give credit to is this gentleman, and his name is Roy Thomas. Here he is with Stan Lee towards the end of his life. The two of them were friends. Roy Thomas came into Marvel in the mid-'60s, I believe, and he became editor-in-chief of Marvel. He was the first editor-in-chief after Stan Lee moved on to do production and other elements of Marvel as Marvel was growing, thanks to the brilliance of the Silver Age. When Roy Thomas took over as editor-in-chief, he inherited a number of different titles, and it was his responsibility to keep the ball rolling. Actually, let's come back to that, Ian. Here, I don't want to go to that as yet. Roy Thomas was credited with so many things, and what he did was he saw what he inherited. He wanted the company to grow, and he would work with so many writers and artists, and that's why he is credited with co-creating so many characters like Wolverine, Luke Cage, the Invaders, Nighthawk, Ultron, the Valkyrie, and my favorite team of all, the Defenders. But I give him credit as to being the father of the Bronze Age, if you will, because he set the stage for that very important era. The other era that made importance to all of us, and myself included, was the copper era. And I think the person among others that you could choose, but I'm going to choose this one here to be the father of the copper era, and that's Jim Shooter. Jim Shooter was a brilliant individual. His most famous work is The Secret Wars, which I believe came out in 1984. Jim Shooter in his early life was very much a savant. He was a brilliant young man. I met him years ago. He strikes me as someone who's sort of like Sheldon Cooper from The Big Bang Theory. He's just a genius, but a bit stoic and not really comfortable with dealing with people. And someone as brilliant as he, and I don't think it's a stretch to say this man was very, very, he had such a presence to him and an understanding of not just comics, but business sense. He was the one that saved Marvel in the 80s, because when he took over as editor-in-chief, Stan Lee clearly saw something in him and brought him on board, and he succeeded after a number of people could not handle the editor-in-chief job. But he did a number of things, not just set the stage for the Copper Age, but he set the company on a financial path that led to success, because they were going bankrupt. With all the brilliant people at Marvel at the time, Jim Shooter was the only one who had any real business sense. And he started streamlining the company regarding its production and other aspects that many other people simply couldn't handle. But those are the three people in the three ages that I really appreciated the most. But one thing, among others, that I wanted to address was when the Silver Age began and when it ended. Now, doing some research on this, and I hear Jaw laughing in the background, but we will talk later to that young man. Now, again, this is my personal opinion. The research that I found was a bit dicey. The only mention was probably one of the most reliable sources was Wikipedia. And Wikipedia has actually done a fairly good job. And I know Wikipedia has its own problems regarding accuracy, but they did say something that I agree with, and that is regarding the records of comic books in general. There really aren't that many records. Again, it's not baseball. It's not the Hall of Fame or or Cooperstown. They don't have these people were business people. They were trying to make a living. They weren't trying to make history. They were trying to survive like any business was. But probably the best article that I'd seen regarding when the definition of the Bronze Age began was this one I'm looking at here on my other computer from a website called TV Tropes. And they are confirming what other people are saying, that the Bronze Age began in 1970. And my first thought is this: an age or an era is a style or a flavor or an approach, and it unifies that same era by similarities along the way. So what was so special? What ended the Silver Age on December 31st, 1969, and why did the Bronze Age begin January 1st, 1970? And the only thing that this article mentions is it was the year that Jack Kirby went to DC. It also cites a gentleman by the name of Mort Wessinger, who was the editor for the Superman titles for the longest time. I guess he had retired and moved on. A few other things, but nothing of these on this article strikes me as the end of an age. What I say is, again, the style, the flavor was very Silver Age-esque. I say that the Silver Age ended around 1974. And the reason why is because the stories are very Silver Age-esque. The artwork was very Silver Age. Even the paper quality and the size of the comic was the same. In fact, I just ordered some comics today. They just happened to show up today. And I'll give you an example, which I don't normally do on my show, but this is clearly a Silver Age book. It's a Strange Tales book, number 131, and you can see the size of it. This is a 20-cent book, Savage Submariner 67. As you can tell, they're both the same size as far as width. They're both in Silver Age Mylar. But the transition for the trimming of the size of the comic started in the 25-cent era. Not all 25-cent books are that way, because here's a 25-center. This was made a year later, Submariner 62. They're all the same size. This was 2 years later. This is Supervillain Team Up number 6. And you can tell it's noticeably smaller than the others. You can't put a Silver Age book in a modern sleeve, but that began in the mid-70s. But that's one element of it. But the other element too was that let's go now to that other picture of the Marvel stamp, Ian, and that is when Stan Lee, who was still in charge of production at the time, he knew that the comics were going up in price, and they were moving from 20 cents to 25 cents, so that's a 20% increase. Stan Lee was always thinking business, and he had this brilliant idea, quote unquote, to put something in addition for kids to collect as they bought these comics. It was called the Marvel Value Stamp. That way they wouldn't care about the extra 5 cents that they were spending, and they wanted to collect all these, 1 through 100 of them. And you can see to the right is the book that they issued. Pardon me. And so the idea was you collect all 100 of these, you put them in this book, you send it to Marvel Comics, and you get some sort of discount or whatever the prize was. Now, it might have seemed like a brilliant idea at the time, but anyone who owns a Hulk 181 and turns to that certain page and sees that cutout is horrified to see that Marvel Value Stamp gone. So, but that started at the 20-cent era and continued on. It was at the last 20-cent issue of every comic, and then moved on to the 25-cent issue. So from 25 cents on, I think for about a year or maybe less, all those Marvel stamps were in. But that was a transitional period. And again, looking at the quality of the paper, the ink work, that had to cost Marvel some money. And this is why I believe Stan Lee decided to raise the price 20 cents to that 25-cent era, because he was gearing up towards more better books that would last longer, because he saw the competition. DC was doing the same thing. So again, that is a sizable transition to see a difference between Silver Age ending and the Bronze Age beginning. So when the Bronze Age began, again, this is my opinion, it should be in 1974. The Bronze Age lasted, I would say, till about when I had my notes here, I'd say 1986. And then the Copper Age would begin 1987. That would be the 25th anniversary issues of Marvel Comics. The Copper Age, I would say, lasted to the mid-90s, let's say 97-ish. Now, there's no exact date on these, but again, I don't like the fact that the so-called powers that be are saying there is an exact date of when the Silver Age ended. 1970 simply doesn't work for me. I'd like, if there is, and by the way, this is an open discussion for anyone in the chat. You can talk to me on the air, or leave something on my IG, or leave something if you're seeing this on the rewind. If you have an opinion on this, John, I'm talking to you, please let me know. And I'd love to have an open discussion. Again, these are my experienced opinions. But also, one last thing about the Bronze Age. I was alive and well in the Bronze Age when in the 1970s and buying comics. We didn't call them Bronze Age at the time. Those were brand new comics. Now, the Silver Age definition had been established, but again, I suppose you put 2 and 2 together, the Bronze Age would follow. But when I was buying them, they weren't called Bronze Age. I think there needs to be a review of what is what regarding that age, but sadly, there really is no organization that I can find anywhere that has any determination whatsoever. So I'm hoping, if I could change anything regarding the comic history, it would be the definition of when the Bronze Age started and when the Silver Age ended. There are a few other questions that come to mind as well that, again, I'd like to have an open discussion if you have them, questions that you've had that you've not seen answered, or you've not even seen asked. So let's move on to some of our other images here. Ian, let's go to the Avengers book, and that was Avengers 4. Here's a question I've never heard posed. We all know the famous story of Avengers 4. By the way, I'm a proud owner of that, signed by Stan Lee. The story goes, if you've not heard it, the Submariner rescues frozen Steve Rogers, rescues him from the ice. He's brought back to life by the Avengers, and the story is told of when he was frozen in the ice somewhere around the end of World War II. What Marvel or anyone else has never addressed is, when is that time? When was the last Golden Age appearance of Stan Lee? When was he thrown into this ice? If I had to take an educated guess, it would be this issue here to the left. That is All Winners number 21. That is an incredibly rare book. I almost had one in a bid, but it's an extremely pricey book. There's only 100 that exist. By the way, as an aside, there are a few 9.6s of this 1946 book out there, and there is one 9.8. That absolutely blows me away. I have no idea what that would be worth. Now, if the connection is made that is the last Golden Age appearance of the Steve Rogers character, imagine how much that would skyrocket because of the scarcity of the book. And it also makes sense because he's with the the only team that Marvel ever came up with in the Golden Age, that was the All-Winter Squad. There were only 2 issues, issue 19, which I did have, which was stolen, sadly, and issue 21, and then it sadly ended. Another issue about, another question about Avengers 4, since you can see Steve Rogers right next to the Submariner, if he's fighting the Submariner in Avengers 4, how come the two didn't recognize each other? That also was never addressed, at least not in that issue here. So that's one of a number of questions I have. But one of the problems I have is that we have, and I think someone touched on it today. Oh, it was Hyper Combo Comics touched on this in his on the comic book Kingpins. He said, in essence, that we are sort of at the mercy of CGC, which is still sadly the top grading company, and whatever they say on their label goes. Now, there are a number of characters that I would like to see identified. One character here is the Valkyrie. The Valkyrie starts in Marvel Comics in Avengers 83, and now this is just the Valkyrie persona. If you haven't read the story, it's actually the Enchantress posing as the Valkyrie. And but she's revealed again to not be the actual Valkyrie. She reappears again in Hulk 142. That was the Roy Thomas story, a fun story. By the way, I recommend you get your hands on it. But my personal view is that in fact, I don't think this is an opinion. I think this could be solidified. The first true appearance of the Valkyrie, the Brunhilde Valkyrie, is Defenders 4. But there's no definition from CGC or anyone else that I can find, even on Wikipedia. They just sort of go down the lineage, if you will, of when the Valkyrie character came up. It's not a solid grail or a solid character, but it is a substantial character that I'd like to have some definition for, and I'm certain those watching probably have similar questions. Another one I have on a more obscure character is one of my favorites. This character here called Sirius Black. Sirius Black, who first appeared in Defender 6. And we do have the picture up somewhere. I know no, that's not it. There it is. That's Sirius Black. I always loved this character. And I mention this because I think, with the Doctor Strange characters, he might appear at some point. I just love this character here. But I have a Defender 6 CGC. There's no definition and no description that is his first appearance. And as the one, let's bring up the other one here with Gambit. This is something all of us know because this is more of a modern character. The controversy is, when was Gambit's first appearance? Was it X-Men Annual 14 or was it X-Men 266? And again, the biggest problem we have is that this is all left up to currently CGC, and whatever you find in whatever article, no one seems to have the final say regarding what is, as far as final definition and final say, except the market itself, the comic market. That's you and I. That's why I'm bringing this question forward to everyone. So let's talk about CGC and the slab market. I take it. What do we have next, Ian? Did we go to Overstreet? Go back up. Regarding one of the controversies is cameos. It's a pet peeve with mine. This is my little joke here. The only cameos I accept are the ones that Stan Lee made in his movies. I'm still bothers me that cameo is used for characters like Wolverine in Hulk 180. Wolverine never existed before that issue. The word cameo is improper, but CGC and others can't seem to shake that for whatever reason, even though there's John laughing again. We're going to have a great conversation, I can tell afterwards. But anyway, it's still a pet peeve with me, and my experience says that should not be used. But when we were kids, John and I were old enough to remember this book here, the Overstreet book. All you had growing up was your Overstreet price guide. You never left home without it if you were a good comic collector. To the left is the very first price guide, which is probably very expensive all by itself. It was more of a pamphlet than anything else. But Robert Overstreet did see the value in producing such a book, and that clearly grew. And with the growth of that book came the database and all the information that's in it. If there's any organization that I would trust even to this day, it's Overstreet, because of the massive database that they have, and what they've amassed. I still buy the book to this day just to look through the pictures and the articles and so forth. And by the way, I have found, this is rare to find, a mistake that Overstreet made, which I'll reveal in the next episode here. It was totally a haphazard chance moment, but I did find something that Overstreet has wrong. So I'll share that. If anyone else wants to share, please let me know. We'll throw this into the next episode. But Overstreet has finally begun an online presence. and it's called Overstreet Access. Now, I didn't access it because there's a free service and there's a paid service, and they're sort of going on the lines of Go Collect and Key Collector. And I don't subscribe to any one of those, but I do look at Go Collect for just the their price structure to have a free service, and they're pretty reliable. I probably, if I wanted to pay money, I'd probably buy all three to see what they all have to say. I'm hoping that Overstreet, because they have such a rich database and have such talented people associated with them, becomes that arbiter. I think that is very sorely needed in the comic book market, because again, look how many controversies and arguments we've had over the years, and there's no one to say, hey guys, this is the final say. At this point, and we'll see what they do with their online service, I'm going to go with Overstreet simply because they've been at it over half a century. All right, guys, let's go to our picks for the week. And these picks, in fact, I'm using some of the picks that we had used for the this segment. Let's start with Avengers 83. Let's go back to that panel there. Now, why this might come into play is because at the end of Avengers Endgame, there was a quick little tidbit, a little Easter egg, if you will, of the Lady Liberators. Now, I don't think someone like Kevin Feige would throw that out for their most signature movie if they weren't going to expand upon that. That's still fairly reasonable. I would probably invest at least in a mid-grade. I have a couple of these here, and it's a pretty fun story, and I think the MCU is going to go in that direction. They certainly went with more female characters in the Bronze Age, and they I think the MCU is going to follow suit. Defenders 4, same thing. Oh, Defenders 4 is a little bit different. When Roy Thomas created the Valkyrie, it was said that he created that to be basically a female Thor. Now, we just had the Thor Love and Thunder movie where Jane Foster is in Valhalla, and excuse me, there's I think it was someone on this chat on our show, by the way, that suggested she might turn into the Brunhilde Valkyrie, the blonde-haired, blue-eyed female Thor, and I can see the connection with that. Defenders 4 is still extremely reasonably priced. Even the high CGC grades are coming down. I would get your hands on some. I have several copies. I'd like to get some for myself. And to the right is another one that's probably the least valued one, Hulk 142, although it is a great story by Roy Thomas, but they may connect that in some way if they do bring that character forward. The next book we have is, again, I think with Gambit on its way, I think this is sort of a no-brainer that you get your hands on either one of these or both. It's a modern book, well, modern from my perspective, and they're still out there. I think there's still some money in this one here. I think this one sort of speaks for itself. Gambit, it's sort of a mixed bag with the people that I've listened to. Some people really love this character. Some people can't stand this character. I'm not really sure why, but I have it. I just happen to fall into one, but I would get your hands on one if I could. Next, we have the Defenders book. Again, back to the Doctor Strange book. We're not done with Doctor Strange. With Benedict Cumberbatch, a very young man and a great actor for that particular role, I think they'll be bringing a number of associates, people he had to deal with. Now, he was a villain here in Defenders 4. He became a hero later on. I think it was Doctor Strange 34. It's just one of those fun characters that no one has heard about. I love this character, and I hope he moves forward in the MCU, and he might be a sleeper pick. You never know. That's the thing with the MCU. You never know what they're going to pick. I didn't think Guardians of the Galaxy would be a movie, but lo and behold, there it is. Next, we have, speaking of Secret Wars, we have Secret Wars 2. Now, as I said earlier in the segment that, excuse me, this character here is the most powerful. He was the most powerful character in all of Marvel. And I don't know, I mean, you could technically say Secret Wars 1, issue 1 was his first appearance as just a voice. You heard him from afar speaking to everyone, including Galactus. And he did appear in mortal form later on in that run. He took over the persona or the body of not Kang, Oh, he took over a character that I'm drawing a blank on, but he did appear in mortal form towards the end of that series. He appears in multiple forms, starting here in series 1. My recommendation is you get both series if you can. I know issues 1 and 8 are a bit pricey, but it's worth it. The read was great. This is again Jim Shooter's creation, and I think he was certainly onto something. It was a brilliant move. And with the She-Hulk show coming up, starting later this week, I think this is a dynamite character. I think this is going to be a long-lasting character, and like the Black Panther character, is going to be around for a long time. And I think even as pricey as this book is, I think this is really, really going to move. I think you should probably get your hands on this sooner than later. Hold on to several copies. I have a really nice high-grade copy. I wish I had more, but I certainly recommend this book to seek out sooner than later. Everyone, in the next episode, let's continue on this because again, I'm hoping to have stirred the pot. I know one person, we won't make any mention of his name, Jaw, has had comments on this and thoughts, and I'd love to hear them. And again, I am not the arbiter of everything. I'm just an experienced old collector. I've seen it a lot. I love this community. I love the comic books. I'd love to have this open discussion because no one else is having this discussion. I think there's questions that need to be posed and more importantly, need to be answered. Everyone, thanks for joining for the Ian Hoodrat Network. I'm Dan De La Torre, and this is Comic Book Corner.
Dan, thank you again, man.
Thanks, you guys.
Blowing minds and taking numbers, bro. You blew so many minds, bro, that the bots had to come over here. The bots just invaded.
Oh, jeez. Oh, great. Oh, great. I blame myself.
No, but
I want to do a Wayne's World and say we're not worthy. My goodness.
Well,
That was
thank
amazing.
appreciate it. Well, but let's before I appreciate that, Matt. But let's have my brother Jaw cut me down to size with his knowledge.
Go ahead.
He has more experience than I do. So, Jaw, I'm ready, sir. You bro. You muted, bro.
You're muted, John.
That's the whole thing. I was muted the whole time, but I was listening, so I wasn't even laughing. I respect everything you have to say about comics, man. I think you're the professor here. You know, when it comes to Silver Age, the cutoff is you make a great case. I have to do my own research, so for future.
Yeah, man. As a plebe like me, bro, I'm always looking at 12 cents, and you expanded my mind past the 12 cents barrier into 20 cents, even 25 cents for Silver Age. You know, like I mean, you are the professor, man. As Matt says, man. Matt says Dan is my new favorite professor. He's giving us a master level class, man. You should be on those master level classes, Dan. We're gonna get you there, bro. We're gonna get you there, man.
I think that date that's established between Silver and Bronze Age is just out of the blue. It's just like, the decade changed, and that's what it was. And I agree with you. I don't think that's the cutoff date. That's how it is, man.
But I think we always look at it too, like with the Silver Age bags, Silver Age can't fit in these these modern books, in these modern bags either, and we always get caught up with that stuff. You know what I'm saying? But Dan expands the knowledge, man. Dan expands the knowledge, bro. Thank you always, Dan, for all your hard work, man. I don't think I say it too much, but Dan thinks about this stuff, guys, for like 2 weeks, and he's telling me, man, I got something working, man. I'm like, man, don't tell me I want to be surprised like everybody else, but Dan, man, as always, man,
it's a labor of love. It really is. Thank you, everyone. Thank you.
We're not worthy. There we go. Dr. Comics and Dan Masterclass Part 1, man. There you go, bro. All right, guys, man. You guys ready for it, man? Because I don't know, man. We might get in trouble for this one.
Won't be our first time.
We're gonna die. I don't want to. I want to stay alive on this one, Ja. You're gonna make me dead again, bro. Guys, man, so this is the down or clown segment, man, of the Monday Night Comic Book Jive. Either we're down with it or we're gonna clown it, man. And we gotta put our 2 cents in here, man. We gotta put our 2 cents in here. So we got the drama with this one. So this wasn't mine. This is the G.I. Joel over on Instagram. This was his thing. I thought it just kind of like this is the best meme I've seen ever of this book, man. Of all the memes, this was the best meme ever, man. Because no matter where you've seen it on your your Instagram or whatever you're on, whatever platform you're on. But it brought up a lot of drama, man. It brought up a lot of drama, and this drama just kind of snowballed into YouTube channels against YouTube channels, man. And it's just personalities against personalities. And me and Ja, we discussed this last night, and it was Maury Povich, man. You know what I'm saying? And I was entertained, man. I was very entertained. I gotta say, man. I mean, I was very entertained by the drama, and I got sucked in. I said, "John, man, I'm not getting sucked in, bro." And then we both got sucked in, and we watched it all. We watched like the first, the good parts. We watched the good parts, right, John? We watched the good parts, and they were very good. They were very entertaining, man. And my question for you guys, man, is is drama good for comics and the comic community, man? Like, is this something that we should have more of, or is this something we should have less of? I gotta say, I was pretty entertained, man. I was just like, I was eating my popcorn. John, I don't think I'm not trying to get down on whatever happened with these guys. I'm just giving my perspective. I was very entertained, and I was very entertained to say that, man. I was just so entertained that I was stuck to both streams, and I was stuck to what all this drama that's been going on. Like, been trying to stay out of it, man. But what do you guys think, man? Is this drama good for comics? Is it bringing us back? Is it good to put a spotlight like this on drama, or is it just a society we're living in where we can press the button and we go live? It gets recorded, and whatever we say and do is in infinity and beyond, bro. What do you guys think? I'm gonna start with who then, man. What do you think, man? Is drama good, bro, for comics or not, man?
Well, what did they always say? All press is good press or something. I don't know. But honestly, I don't. Overall, I don't think it's good. But it does start a conversation, and that people need to have conversations with one another besides text messaging and stuff like that. So I think it's good in a way that it brings people talking, but I don't think overall, hate and visceral things that people are saying is definitely not good. I mean, there's enough hate in the world as it is, and we don't need any more of it for funny books.
I mean, people are passionate though, man. I gotta say, man, people are passionate, bro. Like they passionate about this, about their comics, man, and about their
if people
opinion.
Are passionate about this issue, they need to be passionate about some other issues that
I know, bro. It's all about this book. This book started it all, man. It's just this book started everything, and it's like everybody's just everybody's saying something then backtracking, and this is just like kind of going all over the place, man. Like, it happened, it didn't happen, backtracking. And I think I got to give props to Jim Mint, man. Jim Mint was like, at the end of the day, he says, I got to do better. That's all cats want to hear. I got to respect that, man. Y'all should be following suit, man. I mean, that's what we kind of want to hear.
That's the only statement he should have said, and he could have ended the video just in that.
That was props, though, Jim Mint. I got to give him props, bro.
Everything other stuff that he added was not needed.
Yeah, man. I mean, I got to give props where it is, where it's deserved, man. Like, I got to do better. We all got to do better, man. We all got to do better in the, what we do and what we say. And, sometimes we get carried away. And I think a couple people, a lot of people are getting carried away. I'm sorry, Matt, to bring you into this, man, because this is live, but it's recorded. Go ahead, bro.
This is one of those things that I collect comic books because I enjoy meeting good people that share common, interests. I definitely enjoy the stories. This drama, I could care less. I really could. I have friends on both sides of the aisle, and I just can't believe how people are reacting over this, what I truly feel is a very silly issue. And I feel bad because, like I said, there are really good people getting caught up in this, and there's some really nasty things being said about people. And I just wish it would go away. I really do. This isn't what I enjoy with comic book collecting, but to be fair, it is kind of a popcorn thing. I mean, you can't help but grab the popcorn and just watch what's going on. There is definitely an entertainment value to it.
I mean, we're living in a day of age, man. We're like, like I grew up watching The Real World, and the other guys watch the Jersey Shores, bro. It's like we're watching the real world of comics, man, happening right now, right before us, man. I think it's pretty. I don't know, man. I mean, maybe it's a sign of times. Maybe it's historical. I don't know, man. But I hope it doesn't get out of hand. I hope it just stays on. I hope people are able to work it out, right? Like it doesn't get to like somewhere where it's like in person. I hope when people meet in person, there's hugs and there's dabs, and there's love, and like, yo, man, you know what, man, we gotta, we got out of hand. You're on one side of the country, I'm on the other. Like, let's just give love, right? Like, I mean, that's what it should be, right? John, man, you had me dying last night, bro. You got me caught up. I was like, I'm not getting part of it, man. And then I had to watch it. Me and John, he was over in the OC and I was in San Diego, and we were live streaming. I said, where you at, bro? What time? What timeline are you on? He's like, I'm at 16 minutes. I said, okay, I'm getting 16 minutes right now. We watch it together, So, what's your thoughts, bro?
What are we talking about at the end of the day? Comic books, right? Comic books. Aside from doing my best AI impression of practice, AI is Allen Iverson, for those of you who don't know. We're talking about comic books, right?
Comic books.
And people are getting all emotional over comic books, and there's a lot of. I've met some of the people that people are putting a lot of hate to, and they've never done anything to me. Nice people, right? And I know people on both sides of the aisle, just like Matt said. At the end of the day, it's a comic book, man. Look at some of the stuff that Dan talked about. The economy and things that are going on in this country or the world. I mean, those are real life issues. Pete, we got a homeless crisis in many cities. We got, food shortages and all this other stuff. Here we are. People are fighting over this one book that this one publisher came out with, and it looks like crap, from at least to me. And people are fighting over this thing and arguing over it and stuff. And it's so ridiculous. It's really ridiculous, and it's a sign of the times, unfortunately. Social media has kind of taken over those kind of things. So that's how I feel. But it is, as far as drama is concerned, it was entertaining last night. I'll tell you what, Ian, we had one of the best laughs watching.
Bro, I didn't want to say it, bro, but that I don't think I've laughed that hard in in a long time, and I was just. I don't know, man. I was just, I was dead, bro. I was
watching a couple people, going at it, and it's just like, man, it's not even worth it, man.
It's not even worth it, man. As people are that, I mean, I'm not the type of guy that runs towards when I hear gunshots, I run away, and then I want to peek around and see what's happening, that's what I was. I was just me. I'm at such a far distance that I'm like just watching, and it's just like it's entertaining, but at the same time. It's I don't know. It's sad that we can't get along, that we can't respect each other's opinion, and but hopefully it could get worked out though, right? Like hopefully it can get worked out, right? Like between whoever is saying whatever, and between the people that were involved in this comic book. And I want to go, man, to the person that teaches me the most, man, Dan, bro. Dan, what's your thoughts on all this, man?
Well, I think we've all known people that are. They're either too aggressive, or they're too passionate. I don't mind passion and all that, but there's a point where it gets to be too much. And I've also known people in my life that just live on drama, and they just thrive on that sort of thing. And I was in a relationship not that long ago. Well, actually, quite a while before I got married, but it was a very toxic relationship because I don't want drama. I was heavily involved in politics for years and years and years. But I learned how to talk to people, even people I disagreed with, where it was respectful. I respected their opinion. We actually found common ground and one of the reasons I found that common ground was because I stopped to listen to see what they had to say. I didn't want to try to prove my case to be the only case or my case was right. I wanted to hear what everyone has to say. In large measure, we all want the same thing, but sometimes we take different directions on how to get there. And but I don't think one of the reasons I came to the comic community is because I wanted to get away from all that. This is our safe haven. This is our happy place here. And sadly, we're seeing some of that, filter into the community. I don't want to change people. They are who they are. There are some people, as I said in my segment, as long as they're honest with their opinion and they're not, over the top with that, then I can accept it. But I think if you are one of those people, my suggestion is you take a look at yourself and say, is there a better way to communicate with someone that you want to make a point with, or do you want to fight and argue? Because let me tell you, from us, I love this show because we're gentlemen here. We're wonderful people. We talk to each other. Even if we had a disagreement, I bet you we'd have a wonderful conversation about it. That's the goal that we should all have, and I think everyone else should strive to attain that goal.
Yeah, man. No, I agree, man. I agree, man. There's other ways to communicate it, and I don't think you have to communicate it over, 100 and 300 people are watching, and then, another 800 rewinders like us, right, are watching it, there's other ways to communicate, with each other that can bring more positive stuff to the, comic book community. And I hope everybody's able to work it out, man. But one more thing is, we're comic book heads, man. We're not tough guys. When people think about comic book guys, we're nerds, man. We're nerds with our heads stuck in books, bro, and believing in the best of us while other people are, hoping for the worst, man. We're nerds, man. We're not tough guys. It's why we come together. That's why we come together here on shows like this, and why we we have a great live chat is because this is our safe haven, and and this is where the nerds can hang out and we can protect each other, man. And I think that's what we should do is instead of us fighting each other, we should be protecting each other, because we've all been bullied, man, for the love that we have for comics and pop culture and toys and all that other stuff, man. And I think there's a better way, man. There's a better way, and that's why we're here together as a community. But hey, man, that's our opinion, and I'm gonna close the book on it over here at the Hood Rap Podcast, man. We just want love, man. We just want love and positivity, man. We want to see people work it out, man. I hope that everybody that have beef, squash it, man. And I hope there's a video of everybody coming together and hugging each other in the end, man. Wherever that may be, man. We don't need East Coast against West Coast and Midwest against Florida and Texas against Alabama, man. We just need to have love, bro. We need to have love. We have love. But hey, man, I want to thank everybody for coming on, man. I want to thank Matt, man. Thank you for hanging out. I know you're on the East Coast, and I know it's 1 o'clock in the morning where you're at, bro. And I appreciate you sticking on with us over here on the Monday Night Comic Book Jive. You're awesome, bro.
I'm telling you, you guys are awesome. Thank you so much for asking me to be on here. This was a ball. Just talking to good people about something I love, sharing this with the community. So keep up the good work, guys.
And Matt, man, they can find you over on YouTube and Instagram. Look at that, man. Look at that. Look at Matt just looking like Matt looking just a real sly right there, man, and like a boss with the swag, man. I dig it, dude. Matt, I've been watching your YouTube since the beginning, man. I know we all kind of came up together, during COVID. You're a COVID guy too, right? When you came up on your YouTube.
Yeah, right before, the month before COVID hit. Yeah. Yeah,
we were all COVID guys, man, coming together. And there's so much. I mean, look at the positive things that came out of COVID, man. Like all these great YouTube channels and knowledge, man. And I think that's. I mean, to me, I kind of think comic books are in a dip because also it's not just the economy, but there's a lot more smarter buyers and smarter collectors, and they're looking for the deals. There's, we do have the newbies coming in, but everybody's really educated because of the comic book content that's out there with all the different points of view, and that's awesome, man. You know what I'm saying?
We got to have you back on again, Matt.
Yeah, Matt.
Good job tonight.
Yeah, this was a blast.
And then who that, man? Where can they find you, bro?
They can find me on here every other Monday, and I'm on the hunt with Tony Sanders. That's not this Friday; it's next Friday. So, but this Friday, I'll be on Collectors Club. I know Dan is joining me as well. So Collector Club on Biggie Shack's channel. So definitely sub up Biggie Shack, and I'll be dropping videos here and there on my channel. I have some giveaways I got to do, so if you want to enter in those giveaways, let's check the channel out. And I'm doing a giveaway for this book for.
Let me see.
This book is going to be the giveaway book for August. Well, I'm going to do the drawing in September, end of September. But Strange Academy #1, 9/6.
Oh, nice.
What do we need to do, man, to get into that drawing?
You can as little as $2 in a super chat. That's it.
Oh,
$2 can get you 1 entry, and $5 gets you 3 entries, so on and so forth. But you can enter in as little as $2.
oh
If you don't do
bro.
super chat, just DM me and we can figure out how that happens.
All right, cool, man. And you always have, and who that always has an auction somewhere, bro. Like sometimes he's
Yeah,
auctioning 3 times at once in
do
one time.
I do have Whatnot tomorrow, so if anybody wants to check out my Whatnot, it's the same thing, Who That Comics, but Whatnot, and I do have an auction with Sam's group on Sundays on his.
And as always, man, I appreciate you, bro. I appreciate you coming on, being part of the Rat Pack, man. And then, Ja, man, where can they find you, bro?
Hey, man, Who that's everywhere, man. Like
Dude, that's everywhere, bro.
I don't know how many times finds time to get claims done. I don't understand that.
Bro, I seen Who Dat in the chat at John's Comics with kids during his show this afternoon. I was like, man, Who That's everywhere, bro.
He's everywhere. Everywhere.
Who That's everywhere, bro.
You can find me on IG, Comic Book Crackhead, and on this show every other Monday. I just don't have the time like Who Dat does. I wish I did, but he knows his comics.
Man. Who That's the hardest working man in comics, bro. He's the hardest man. He is, bro.
That's true. That's true. That's true.
He is, bro. And Dan, where can they find you, Dan?
Well, as Russell said, I'll be on with Big. In fact, thanks for reminding me. I just responded to him. He sent me an invite, so I just responded to him now. So I'll be on Friday. Last Friday, I wasn't on the hunt. I was supposed to be just as a sub. I was going to say hello towards the end, but at the end of the show got suspended, so nobody saw me. So I'm like, wow, okay.
You got suspended? With WWE?
Yeah, I don't want to say whatever, but YouTube is getting kind of goofy regarding suspensions. A lot of shows are getting kind of cut off or whatever. They say one thing, and all of a sudden they're out. Comic Book Canon had that. They were playing a clip of something trying to show news of the day, and for comic books, and all of a sudden, boom, their stream has said you're timed out for like 2 minutes. So
what?
it's just
Wow.
it's really weird. But I probably will be on the hunt with Russell next week. I don't know what I'm doing. We're still doing this fun match with Vincent McSands is no longer CEO, so we're having fun with that. So I'm his attorney, trying to keep him out of legal trouble. So anyway, it's a lot of fun.
It's a lot of fun if you haven't watched The Hunt. Like it's hilarious. That's all I gotta say.
Man, they can't take down The Hunt, bro. That's one of the best shows on YouTube, bro. They can't take down The Hunt.
Yeah.
And then this big news for you guys, man. Oh, and then we got Comics on the Mind. He can't. So Kirk can't be with us because he's working. But I got a text from him, and we're gonna try to get him on the show for his recorded parts, just so he can be part of the show. Because he just, people, you got to take care of that responsibility first, man. And we still love Kirk, and he's always gonna be part of the Rat Pack no matter what, man. Yep. So we love you, Kirk, and we miss you,
Kurt.
Yep.
And then another thing is I got me and Efren, we interviewed Rodney Barnes on Sunday. He's actually the writer of Philadelphia and Nita Hall's prolific screenwriter for movies and TV shows. Really good friends with a lot of different celebrities, man. If you ever find him on Instagram, he's in his green booth at this restaurant, and it's always somebody. Chris Rock. It could be like Rick Fox. All these different guys, man. Like he's been in Hollywood for 30 years, man. He breaks it down like how is it to be a producer and writer in comics, and how did he come up, and what's he doing in comics, man. Really good guy. We had him on, so come and check that out. That'll air on Wednesday, man. With me and Efren, Past Point. Efren came on to interview him because we're big fans of Philadelphia and Nita Hall. So I had to bring Efren on because he's the one who actually introduced me to Nita Halls and got me reading that book. Really good book. But that's the show, man. And I got a couple of things here in the chat from everybody, man. And then Hyper said, if comic book drama is the biggest stressor in your life, I'll be glad to trade places with you. Tyrone got bills to pay. You got to. That's what I'm saying,
Call
man.
on Tyrone Cole.
That's the thing though, right? If comics is stressing you out, man, maybe like it's like alcohol or drugs, right? Like if you're doing too much of it, bro, maybe you need to step away, like for a hot second, man. You know what I'm saying? And then look who else we got here. We got John in the house, man. John said hello. You are in the right. You missed the drama. You missed the drama, John. We had a little drama going on, but I saw that Richard bought one of the UF4s, bro. I was like, yo, Richard, bro. Richard is an uncle.
Ultimate Miles collector.
He had to have it. I don't blame him, man. And if you're a Miles collector, this book is in infamy, right? Like it's a book in infamy, man. But we want to thank everybody for joining us here on the Monday Night Comic Book Jive. Richard. John's all like, Richard, bro, bronze or silver, bro? Like bronze or silver. But Richard's like, I'm a Miles fan. I know, man. I know.
Yeah.
But we appreciate everybody coming through, man. I appreciate you, the panel. I love you guys, man. Matt, thank you for coming on. We appreciate you coming on and joining the conversation. And we're gonna let Matt get to sleep, man, because it's about 1:00 on the East Coast. But we love y'all, man. And we out, bro.
Take care.